5. Yo, it's that time again. It's that time again. Monday evening, Petty Sports is in the building. Tuning in this week, man. Listen, we got the Super Bowl is all set. The AFC champions are crowned. NFC champions are crowned. We got our fun field show tonight. We got some dope guests in the house tonight. It's me and your boy Fees again. But the young lady in the middle, ALAYGRA Wells. Welcome to Petty Sports, ALAYGRA.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Just a little about myself. I'm from Atlanta. I went to Savannah State, graduated last year, and now I'm an intern at FGTV TV station downtown.
Okay.
And I just want to say thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, welcome, welcome.
Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It's ALAYGRA_Wells24.
Now, you know you got to spell ALAYGRA because all these people out here taking these pharmaceutical ED pills, they have it all fucked up, baby. So you got to spell ALAYGRA for them.
Okay, so it's ALAYGRA and then _Wells, WELLS24.
And we're going to get that up on the screen for you guys as well, man, so y'all can follow Miss ALAYGRA Wells as she sits in with the Petty King.
Yes,
Petty Sports. You know what? It's 2020. We got to get this thing changed out, man. It's a Freudian slip around here. And to my right, the man, the myth, the legend, Fees.
Yes, sir. Y'all know what time it is. It's Famous Fees in the house. You know, Clutch Sports Talk Radio hits 92.3. Hey, I try to do y'all a service this time. I came in with Atlanta United gear instead of Pat's gear today.
Well, you really can't wear
just for the day.
Shit, though.
Well, hold up. I'll just get
there
this
it is.
hat out
See,
my pocket.
see, that's how it goes. Right
I always have something.
Hey, man.
Like, I ain't let us go now.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. I mean, at this point in time, you know, we got Tom Brady on deck, man. We got a live show for you guys today. Just something that y'all can kind of keep an eye on what we're going to do. We're going to go over the AFC and the NFC matches. Gonna talk about, you know, Aaron Rodgers, where he falls at in the state of greatness around this thing. Are you buying and selling Zion Williams coming back out? WNBA trying to get to the bag. And then we'll get off into the fight this weekend, man. Conor McGregor, did he shock the world? What happened? You know, so we're kind of getting that. You know, we didn't talk about it last Odell Beckham situation, Tom Brady, T.O. We got a whole lot of stuff. Folks feeling slighted around here the first part of the year. So, man, sit back, relax. Get yourself a beverage. It's the Petty Sports. Your boy DB, Fees, and Miss ALAYGRA Wells. Ready to rock y'all out this Monday evening, man. Let's go get it. Oh, and my God, I keep forgetting our resident wide receiver is calling in. Our guy, the man amongst town, Maceo Hurd, is checking in. What's going on, Hurd? So check it out, Mace. Hey, man, listen. I know you on the top. I know you busy, but you are a resident wide receiver. So, man, that T.O. topic, man, I want to get you because he done thrown some shots at Randy Moss. You know, I want to hear about that wide receiver talk.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah. Hey, man, listen. Not only that, we'll talk about that in the NFL, but Darrelle Revis has called out Richard Sherman. But the D was coming out everywhere. You know, D was at wide out, D was at cornerback, everybody tripping. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today as well, man. So listen, Mace, we're going to kick it off, man. We're going to turn it over to Fees. We're going to get into our AFC, NFC matchups. The Super Bowl is set. We want to get your takes on it, your hot takes on the games. And, you know, we'll get into the Super Bowl predictions later on. Fees, what you got in that AFC game yesterday?
Man, AFC Championship game. Kansas City outlasted Tennessee 35-24. 11 points. They covered spread, which was 7.5. But watching that game, it's like I don't really know what was going on there. Like, Tennessee came out like they were supposed to. They came out running. They used the play action. Tannehill looked really good in the first half. And they jumped up to a 17-7 lead. Looked like they were about to really handle business.
And then?
Gave up a couple of quick touchdowns, like one right at the end of the half where Pat Mahomes scrambled for a 27-yard run, where was the tackling? It wasn't even like he didn't pull a Lamar Jackson. They tried to strip him and just let him fall in the end zone.
But if you watch it, like before he broke out, he had the lineman that was on him. He kind of gave him that little stutter step, like ooh, and then just got down the line and tiptoed down. And we talked about it. You know, when you see a quarterback in the open field becomes a runner, you ain't trying to strip no ball. You trying to tattoo that ass. You trying to tap him.
It ain't like he a little dude. Like, what you thought you was just going to just fold him like that? Like, man, hit him.
Man, that was the strange part to me. Like, man, hit his ass. Like, don't try to strip the ball. Just light his ass up because you drop Mahomes, your chances of winning goes high at that point. He's a runner. He's no longer the quarterback out there. Like, he's a runner, and you tag his ass.
They're supposed to lay some wood on him on that play.
Yeah. I was, disappointed in that piece. What you say about that, Mace?
Oh, man, Tennessee. Well, let's give credit to the Kansas City Chiefs defense. They talked all week about how they're going to shut Derrick Henry down. I don't really think they shut Derrick Henry down. I think that the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator kind of tried to get too cute.
Okay.
Arthur Smith, dumbass.
And I think that cost him. Derrick Henry has to touch the ball 25, 30 times. You never want Tannehill to have to try to beat somebody.
Right.
That's what it came down to. Terrible game plan from Tennessee.
They didn't follow through. In the first half, the game plan was like clockwork. I mean, it came out
very solid.
That drive that started near the end of the first quarter. They had a 15-play, 9-minute long drive. Just completely took the clock out of the game, and they went up the field like it was nothing. I think it was 8 runs and 7 passes. I mean, they were mixing it up nice. They came back out in the second half. Derrick Henry only had 3 carries in the second half.
Yeah, and they limited him to a playoff low, an 8-game low, actually. So, I mean, but was it so much that Tennessee started feeling their own press when they jumped out to that early lead, thinking that, hey, man, we did it last week. We got it. We got this mojo running. They started feeling themselves and not necessarily understanding that this is a heavyweight fight. And we're going all 15 with it, all 12.
Like, as soon as they got behind, they decided that it was time to pass. It's like, bro, you're only down by 11 points. Run the ball. That's your whole team's identity.
Abandon the entire identity of the team.
Man, I thought I was watching Jason Garrett coaching again.
Whoa, but he does have a job.
Man.
That's what it looked like. This is the same type of dumb shit that Dallas does.
Spin cycle. Well, now
what's working? Let's do the opposite.
It's the Giants' dumb shit they got to deal with now because the spin cycle coaching regime has now picked up Jason Garrett as the offensive coordinator for the new look. Should I say new look, Mace? New look Giants?
No.
I mean, because you got a first-year head coach and judge. And I would imagine that bringing in Jason Garrett is that security blanket to say, hey, we're going to bring in somebody with head coaching experience and also an OC just in case this guy mucks it up. Is that how you guys look at it?
Well, from what I understand, Judge was never considered, like, they didn't bring him in to run everything, like to call plays on either side of the ball. They say he's a great manager of men. Like,
manager of men, leader of men, you know.
I mean, he's been a special teams coordinator. They got to bring in an OC and a DC that can actually run that portion because he can't do that.
What you think, lady?
So, I mean, I didn't really sit down and watch the game fully yesterday, but I mean, the Titans came out of nowhere with, making it so far. Because think about it. Tannehill, he was graded the lowest rated quarterback, I think, when he was with Miami. But now, since he's on the Titans, he's graded one of like the highest quarterbacks. So I mean, you have to give it to the Titans because they came a long way.
Is it now? So let me ask you this: Mason, answer me this: do you think it's more so that Tannehill and the Dolphins failed to utilize Tannehill properly, didn't build a team around him, or is it his maturity and he's grown in his position with the Tennessee Titans?
I feel like they didn't build the team around him like that at all. So, yeah.
What say you, Mace?
I look at it like, so a lot of times these guys kind of get themselves in situations where they just don't fit the system.
Okay.
I think once he moved on from Miami, I think Miami wanted him to do a little too much. But I think once he got to Tennessee had the right pieces with the running game. And they could play action because he's a very accurate passer when he has time. And they were able to kind of, make the system fit him because the system really never fit Mariota in Tennessee.
No.
But for Tannehill, it worked out perfect, and he's kind of probably played himself into at least another 2 years in Tennessee, maybe.
I'm sure he did. What you think, Steve?
Oh man, it's absolutely a situation of systems. I mean, like not Dallas. Miami never had the run game to support his style of play.
Right.
He needed to get out of Miami. He wasn't bad. It just wasn't like he couldn't carry a team that way.
Well, how about a line? They didn't have a line either, though. So top it off with not a run game, and then you don't have an offensive line. It's a recipe for disaster, and we see it across the board. And we talk about our Atlanta Falcons being that same type of situation where you got to know your quarterback, and if you got this guy, he's your guy. Build your team around that guy.
Prime example is like Nick Foles.
Yeah.
He's successful in Philly and nowhere else because he doesn't fit anybody else's system. Jacksonville wasted a lot of money.
But he got a statue in Philly, though.
They should have kept him in Philly.
My man got a statue in Philly, though. So Tennessee shit the bed, lost their own identity in that. And it's something they can build on. I think they'll be back next year, make another deep run to playoff. They got to secure... They got to secure Henry. He's a free agent this year. So, I mean...
there's no way they don't pay him.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying they're going to do it. But, yeah, this is one of them things, right?
Yeah.
NFC Championship game. Hey, that was the money game last night, man. Listen.
That was a good game.
Yeah. What you got on that one, Fee?
Man, that was god-awful. 27-0 at the half? I mean, these boys, they just dismantled Green Bay. I mean, the score isn't even indicative of how bad the game was. 37-20 makes it seem like Green Bay tried to actually get back in the game. That was a whole bunch of garbage at the end. They were in a prevent defense, just like, hey, let's just coast. We already in the Super Bowl. We don't need to do anything. So Aaron Rodgers put up all these raggedy little stats at the end of the game.
What kind of they're called? What kind of stats?
Empty stats.
Empty stats. As my guy Mike Diamond would say, they're empty stats.
They are. Like, he did nothing in the first half.
Well, okay. We'll say you, Mace, about that 49er Packer game. What's your take on that one?
We still got Mason. We losing.
Yeah, I can hear him. Gee, he only coming through your phone. He's only coming through the phone. He's not coming through. Hold on, Mace.
What?
He's only coming through your phone. He's not coming through the system.
Yeah, yes, you talk.
We can't hear him at all.
I'll keep going.
Go ahead, Mace.
Yeah, man, I guess eventually we'll get him back.
Okay. Gotcha. Now, Max, we're gonna get you to hold on for a second. We having audio trouble with you pulling into the studio, so give us a quick second. We'll come back to you. So Leggy, did you watch the game that game?
I did. I got a chance to watch the Packers and 49ers. The 49ers, they played physical. They did great on both sides of the ball. You have to give it to them. The Packers, I feel bad for, especially Aaron Rodgers, because literally it looked like he couldn't throw the ball anymore. And then secondly, he couldn't even escape the pocket. So I just felt bad. And he's not getting any younger, so he needs to, I don't know, what needs to change.
So with that being said, Aaron Rodgers was not himself, even though when you look at the final game line, he's like 31 for 39 or something like that.
Yeah.
326 yards, 2 picks and 2 TDs. It doesn't look half bad, but when you really dig down into it and you look at it and you break it down by quarters and by halves, he stunk it up the first half. He just didn't look worth a damn.
Man, San Fran came out with a mean game plan, but they came out and did exactly what Tennessee did to the Chiefs. They came out running the ball. They basically just ate up the whole first quarter.
Mace, so we got you back, Mace?
Yes, sir.
There we go, my man. So listen, we talking about Aaron Rodgers and the disappearing of Aaron Rodgers in the first half, man. What's your take on that? What do you think was the attribute to the slow start? Or was it just, Shanahan and his defensive scheme and so forth? And is Shanahan Aaron Rodgers' kryptonite?
Yeah, I think both of those things. I was trying to tell you earlier. I think Green Bay just don't have enough weapons offensively. Aaron Rodgers, that quarterback, even though he kind of played the nice guy role this year, ran the ball with Aaron Jones, they need another weapon at wide receiver. Like, Devontae Adams, as good as Devontae Adams is, it's easy to double team him. Like the catch distribution, he had 85 catches in like the second game of the season, had like 35 second receivers.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, it's easy to defend them when they doing that.
Okay.
At what point is Aaron Rodgers going to be held accountable for being Aaron Rodgers? They keep saying he don't have any help. They say he don't have a defense. His team went 12-4, got a 2 seed. Devontae Adams is a big-time wide receiver. They brought in Jimmy Graham. He hasn't panned out, but Aaron Jones was balling all season. He's been carrying that team because it has not been Aaron Rodgers even doing anything. Yep. So we're going to keep giving them these LeBron James passes.
And then, you said, well, you needed a running back, and they seemed to find one this year as well.
Yeah.
And, then it was all of a sudden, where, him and Matt LaFleur, are not getting along, or this, that, and all this stuff that was going on with that. Like you said, you got rid of your boy now. You got rid of McCarthy.
Yeah.
Because Aaron Rodgers couldn't get along with him. Now you got this guy coming in here. You've gotten back to where you think, hey, man, we're divisional game, one game away from the Super Bowl, and your superstar shits the bed.
Yeah, man, that's inexcusable.
Yeah.
I mean, his numbers look good, but, clearly all of that came in the second half. It was sad.
Well, I'm on record as saying to Aaron Rodgers, hey, they tell me I'm Aaron Rodgers. And I say this all the time. That Super Bowl has been so long ago, I don't even remember it.
It's just as old as Drew Brees' Super Bowl.
So that leads us, Mace, to our next point. Fee, what's the next point? I'm going to let you do it because you want to do it with a smile.
Yes. The next point. It is time to undress Aaron Rodgers.
I've done it. I've said it. I argue with Mike Bell all the time, him and Petty Man, about these so-called elite quarterbacks. And Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees be the first name to run out there and say that.
Yeah.
But the question is, should Aaron Rodgers be considered one of the great elite quarterbacks of all time?
I think he does still fall into the category. I can still argue him to be near the bottom of the top 10. I still have him behind Drew Brees, but not in that conversation for GOAT, because they always seem to somehow skip over a whole bunch of people. Every time Aaron Rodgers wins a game, he'd be like, oh, he's better than Brady. It's like, whoa.
He was the man. Yeah. Listen, I agree with you, and I'm...
All 13 games they won this season, it's like Aaron Rodgers is back. He's the man. And every time they lose, all of a sudden, it's the coach, it's the running back, it's the defense, it's the lack of weapons. How many excuses do you get? This dude is 10-8 in the playoffs.
Hey, man, listen.
He's damn near 500 in the postseason.
Entering into this season, I'm going to give you guys a stat, and I want you to hear this. If somebody gave you this stat line, 17, 26, and 1 is your stat line, would you say 17 wins against 26 losses and 1 tie against teams that are above 500 at the end of the season when you played them during that year? Would you consider that guy to be an elite GOAT type of guy?
Absolutely not. That's a damn stat.
Hey, man, I say it all the time. But then they say, oh, he got a Super Bowl ring. That was in 2009.
Just one.
Yeah. Well, 2010.
2009
was
was
Brees.
Yeah, 2010.
I'll argue with you that Matt Ryan is beating Aaron Rodgers more in the playoffs than Aaron Rodgers has lost to beat Matt Ryan.
That's a reach.
It ain't no reason to say it's facts.
Yeah.
That's real.
But in this city, you get a generational talent, and they'll try to run him out of there. But you don't hear nobody in Lambeau. A city where the city owns the damn team. They ain't trying to run him out of Lambeau. The same shit.
This dude is 1-3 in the NFC Championship game.
Say it again.
You know what his numbers look like in the NFC Championship?
Say it again.
6 touchdowns to 7 interceptions.
Hey, man.
On the big stage.
Listen, I agree with you. I say it all the time. That these cats out here, let's be clear. Nobody's not saying that Aaron Rodgers probably got one of the 2 elite arms in the fucking game right now. You take him and you take Patrick Mahomes, and you want to argue about who can make the most difficult throw, and when the kid is on, he's on. When he's on, he's on. We're not saying that. But I just like to bring people back to reality when y'all want to go out there and throw these cats up on these pedestals, these hierarchies, and then be like, oh, we had an Aaron Rodgers. But when you look down deep into it, shit ain't always green on the other side of town.
Well, you can take it even deeper, man. Like in his 8 playoff losses. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, we'll scratch the first one. The first one was when he first took the team over. I mean, he was 6-10 his first year after he took over a 13-3 Green Bay team that Brett Favre took to the NFC Championship game. That team should have played against the undefeated Patriots. That was the year. That was the last year that Brett Favre was there.
Right.
He took over the team, went 6-10, and then he's missed the playoffs multiple times as a starter. So he gets back after the Super Bowl. He lost to the Giants, got smacked. Then he turned around, lost to San Francisco. He gets beat by San Francisco every time he plays them. He's lost to them 3 times in the playoffs.
You know that Kaepernick was one of those.
Yeah.
So, but listen, we gonna come right back to feed. We're gonna get Maceo take on Aaron Rodgers. Man, you're listening. You're watching the Petty Sports on Pulse 880. If you're on the internet radio, your Facebook page on King's Broadcasting Studio. Also on Twitter and Periscope. We everywhere, baby. Listen, the home of the No Name Show, Petty Man the Podcast, Petty Sports, and of course on Friday, our Hip Hop 808 on the beat with our guy D Bizzle. Keep it locked in right here, King's Broadcasting Studio. We got more content coming for you in 2020. Stay tuned with your boys. Now I'm back to it. So now, what else you got on the feeds?
Man, so what we looking at with Aaron Rodgers in these 7 games that he's lost in the playoffs? Only last night. That's the first time he's actually even thrown for 300 yards. He doesn't get blamed for any of this. I mean, he's got a couple of them. He threw for 177, 178, multiple interceptions. I mean, he's blowing these games when they get to the playoffs, and he's been blown out multiple times. Like, what elite quarterback gets smacked like that in January? You can't have January losses like that, like 20, 30 points.
My man Darren Adams said that man is lucky. The football gods are on his side, except against San Fran. Yeah, you might be right about that, brother. You might be right. Mace, what's your take on Aaron Rodgers and his cementing his legacy in the game as an all-time great?
So this is the problem I've always had about this Aaron Rodgers argument. It's a difference between the best and most talented. Now, he can throw from every angle. He does all of these things. But for the quarterback, it just wins and losses. And in big moments, he can't get it done. He's proven it.
Ooh, so you're saying that I want to go on record, Mace, with this. Are you saying that Aaron Rodgers can't take a team and put it on his back and carry him through?
He can't do it.
He can't do it. Y'all heard it here, man. What you say, Fees? Because, you know, Mike Baylor say Matt Ryan has a problem, can't put the team on his back. So now, Petty Man say the same shit, and they always hit me with, dude, we ain't gonna argue with you today.
Everybody always fall in love with all these passes that he makes. Says he'll throw a 70-yard Hail Mary. He'll be like, oh, he's the greatest.
The difference between Aaron Rodgers and Matt has way more talent than
here we go with this shit.
But
But Matt,
it would be that much easier to put a team on your back.
but he's not always had that talent. He's had Julio Jones and a suspect running game, no offensive line, a bullshit defense, all these things. But the fact that had Matt won the Super Bowl,
he would be like Aaron Rodgers.
No, but that's the thing about it though. Everybody want to hang their.
Aaron Rodgers bought time. That's why his fan base
But
not calling for his
no.
head.
I beg to differ. I beg Drew Brees. Yeah, but it's been 10 years. You ain't done nothing, and then the team that ain't got one is continually beating you. They continuously beat you, but ain't nobody saying that because they recognize a generational talent. That's all I try to get people to understand. We're not saying Aaron Rodgers is sorry. Don't get me wrong.
Right, yeah.
I'm not saying by no stretch of the imagination the man doesn't have one of the 2 best arms today.
He gave his fan base something to bite on.
It ain't just him though.
Number 2 ain't gave us nothing to bite on.
There you go.
So,
That shit. What you got?
So do y'all see Aaron Rodgers securing a ring before he retires?
I think his window's done.
You think it's done?
I think he's done. Max, what do you think? You think Aaron Rodgers get another ring before he's done?
I think it's over.
Oh, man.
I think it's over.
This year wasn't even really a chance. They were just a paper champ, even being up there where they were. That record was not indicative of how good that team was, and it showed.
Well, you had Detroit started out strong, and they had the injury, so they went down. Minnesota pushed the hard push towards the end. Chicago, they ain't got a quarterback.
No, not at all.
I mean, so it wasn't hard to come out of there with that, So it's like, they were the fail-safe choice to come out of that division with it.
Yeah.
So
get this dude more complex, just context to where he should be, because people actually want to compare him like he's up there with Brady and Montana.
Here you go.
Which
He had,
is
to bring,
ridiculous.
he had to bring Brady in this conversation.
No,
Go ahead.
Oh no, not just Brady. We're talking about everybody. If we're talking about the actual top of the quarterback hierarchy, then you have to bring Brady in.
So before you go to that, John Roberts out there said he will not get a ring with Green Bay. Now, John, are you saying that he's going to go somewhere else and possibly get a ring, or you just saying he'll retire as a Packer and he just won't get a ring, period? You know, kind of let me know what you think on that, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, I seriously doubt he's going to leave. But just for playoff performances, told you he's 10-8. We look at the people that are sitting up at the top. I mean, Brady's record is ridiculous. It's 30-11. But Joe Montana's 16-7. Elway is 14-7. Peyton is 14-13. So his is almost 500. It's a little bit more comparable, but he's been to 4 Super Bowls.
Right.
He's taken his team there way more times than Aaron. He's only been once. He's a little closer if you start measuring. Drew Brees is 8-8. Big Ben is 13-8.
Okay.
We kind of always leave Big Ben out. That man, his playoff record is far better, and he has 2 Super Bowls. Well, he's been to 2.
Okay.
Actually, no, he's won 2. He's been to 3.
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah. He lost 1 to Aaron. But his Big Ben's numbers are a lot more comparable. Between Big Ben and Drew Brees, I mean, his yards, touchdowns, they're all a lot more comparable. And just to be 100% honest with you, I would take Russell Wilson over Aaron Rodgers.
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll be hard pressed to find a lot of people to argue with that. You know, we look at Russ at the beginning of the season, and even through the first 8 games before Lamar took off, he was probably the front runner for the MVP going into this season. So I can definitely see how you can say that. Green Bay, John Roberts' Green Bay team is not talented enough for him to get another ring. The league is changing with these mobile quarterbacks. Now, one time, you know, he was considered a mobile or an athletic white guy, because they don't want to use the term mobile when it comes to white guys. Just say he's athletic. You know, so I don't know what the hell that means. But, man, Darryl Adams said, your boy is wrong. Aaron is a bad man. He can read defense and adjust accordingly. He wants to know, would you take him over your QB? Would you take Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady? Right now.
Historically or
right now? Just right now. Right now.
At the moment, yeah, I would take him right now. I mean,
Okay.
Brady's about done.
Yeah, I just asked, you know, you.
But Pat Mahomes is about to erase Aaron Rodgers' names from everything.
So
he's everything Aaron is, and if he wins the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, he'll have accomplished everything Aaron did in 2 years.
So the number, so Mace, what do you think about that? You say he's done. Now, Fees brought up a good point about Patrick Mahomes erasing all these numbers of these quarterbacks now. And I saw a stat today that for the last 2 years, man, before he turned 25, the kid's like 70-something touchdowns.
Yeah, 76 touchdowns, 18 interceptions.
You know, so what's your take on Mahomes cementing himself early on as the GOAT apparent, or the heir apparent to the GOAT, I should say?
Hey, let's be careful,
Yeah.
because we've seen this before. We said this about Dan Marino long time ago,
Ooh.
and we think that. Hey, I heard somebody today say Mahomes might play in the next 7 Super Bowls. We don't know that.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That's a hard one.
We have to really.
Go
We
ahead,
have to
Mace.
stop being prisoners of the. We have to stop being prisoners of the moment, and we got to let it play out.
But and so one of those things, and you can look at it and say that yes, Mahomes, unworldly talent at the QB spot, hell of an arm. He almost plays quarterback like he plays shortstop. He throws the ball from multiple angles and this, that, and the third. But unlike anything else you've seen in the pro sports right now, can you name a time where a pro team resembled a park and rec team? What I mean by that is, you just run out there and be like, shit, man, they got more athletes on offense than anybody else out here in the fucking field.
They look like the 73-9 Golden State Warriors.
They look like, I mean, it's a damn track team. So now, does that same thing take away from Mahomes' greatness over the last couple of years? And they lost goddamn Kareem Hunt.
Well, the
Like,
only reason it doesn't take away from his greatness is because of the numbers he's putting up and the success he's had.
Okay.
He's doing all this winning. He threw for 50 touchdowns, won an MVP. Nobody can stop the man. He put up 51 points on Houston after getting blanked in the first quarter. So, he's making it work. With all these weapons, he's putting up the numbers that you would expect someone to do if you gave him like an all Madden team with all 99 rankings on the outside. He's actually producing it.
But that seems like, I mean, is it just me and we all played Madden back in the day? And like Kansas City, like they got a team full of cheat codes.
Yeah, they do. I mean, mean, you got Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman, Kelsey.
Listen, and I mean, it's shit 4-2 coming at you.
Yeah.
Like, it's some real shit.
There's 4 people out there that you can't cover.
Hey, Max, that 4-2 coming out that wide receiver spot can get vertical and go across the field. It's a problem and a nightmare.
Man. Boy, you see Tyreek every week?
Yeah. Listen, and there ain't no cover zeros. This shit is all 2s and 3s, man. We're going to blanket this shit across the board and hope they run across somebody's face.
Yeah, I mean, nobody got the personnel to actually just man up on them.
Yeah, so Mace says be careful of being caught up being creatures of the moment with Mahomes.
Well, I think the only difference between calling, like, the prisoner of the moment situation with Pat is more so long as he keep all those weapons around him, there's no reason to believe that he won't keep doing that. That may not translate into multiple Super Bowls, but he's going to keep putting up these numbers, and they'll be right back in that spot every year.
So let me ask this question then. In every other sport we deal with, man, from, baseball, you have Mike Trout, that, he's the heir apparent, he's that guy. Basketball is LeBron James. Hockey, it was Gretzky and what's the little young kid name? I'm dating myself. When Lemieux came through the league and all that shit. Why is it that you get a talent like Mahomes and nobody, well, I'm going to say this, I said, a black QB and nobody wants to give him that? If that was Andrew Luck that's done this, oh shit, the world is his.
Of course.
They're gonna put him up on the pedestal and goddamn shine the lights down on him from the NFL's tower.
Well, he was getting all that praise last year. He'd still be getting it if Lamar hadn't come along and
but
did
I think
what he
he's
did.
done that and more. Like, to be honest with you, he is that quintessential game-changing talent that comes along once in a lifetime and you say, this guy is that guy.
If he wins in 2 weeks, then he's going to get all of that.
Yeah, I don't think you should wait that long. I mean, if you just look at what he's done, like, before 25, damn near 80 touchdowns and how many picks?
18.
18 picks.
Yeah, but you still got to win.
Yeah, but then
When you
watch.
start talking about that level that you placed them on, you got to win.
Okay, so last year they got knocked off by New England following the Robert Kraft I just got touched scandal. I didn't really get nothing done down in Jupiter, Florida.
That's not a scandal.
It's not a scandal because he bought the damn tape.
I mean, who cares? This man got a rub and tug at a massage parlor. What does that have to do with football?
I'm just saying that.
That ain't no scandal.
I use it as a point of reference to date when it happened.
But it's not a scandal.
I just use it as a point of reference to date when, because it's not a scandal because he bought the tape.
I mean, I guarantee you.
And again, who gives a police department a gag order? Like, how the shit does that happen?
I guarantee you know people who have gone to the massage parlor and done that.
I just don't know nobody that can pull up in a baby blue Bentley 2 days in a row, and then they got a cop sting that's going on in this massage parlor, and the police department of Jupiter, Florida is on the damn gag order. I don't know that. I need them kind of friends in my life.
I mean, the dude owns a football team.
I just need them in my life. Like Juvie say, I need it in my life.
He's a billionaire.
I
boy.
want it in my life. I need it, boy. Hey, man, but listen, we gonna press on from that one, man. Real quick, man, you're listening to the Petty Sports Show with your man DB Fees and the queen of the day, Allegra Wells. We got our guy Maceo Hurd on the phone lines, calling in, checking in. King's Broadcast Studios out of Atlanta, Georgia, home of 808 and the Beats, Petty Sports, the no-name show for right now, and the Petty Man, the podcast. Check us out. We're going to move right along, man. Let's go.
That boy Zion Williamson making his debut on Wednesday against the Spurs, which is ironically, that's the last team he played against.
Is it me or this shit just like it just drug on forever?
Oh, I mean, it was inevitable. I mean, nobody was wishing injury on the man. I figured he'd make it through a season, but I came on before the draft and was like, I would have picked Ja Morant for no other reason than the fact that I knew Zion wouldn't be able to give you more than a season before his limbs started to go out on him. His ankles and his knees cannot hold up to the torque that he puts on them. He's too big.
But he's young, though.
It doesn't matter.
And I hate this when people start talking about, oh, he weighs too much. The kid's young.
Yeah, but for the way he jumps and how explosive he is, it's not going to work for him. I mean, he's just now making his debut. This team's played, how far are they in?
Well, they're midway in the
16
season.
and 27.
Yeah, midway
They
in the
played
season.
43 games.
But let me ask you this, though. I mean, and could it be just a freak-ass accident?
No.
Just a freak-ass knee injury? This kid been playing all his damn life.
Just like his freak shoe busted open on him at Duke. Like, he's so big, weird shit happens to him. And it's going to keep happening.
It's kind of like he's injury prone a little bit.
But how do you put that on a kid that's 19 years old?
Yeah.
And say he's injury prone? It just happened.
They say he got injured in high school too. He's like, he could be transcendent, but he's not going to be healthy enough to do it.
I beg to differ, man. I just think it's something that happened, and it's one of the things that Shaq made it through. And when you remember Shaq, when Shaq was at LSU, hell, he was running up and down the fucking court, and a massive human being.
He wasn't jumping to the top of the square doing 360s and
damn near. I mean, if you compare Shaq and Zion looked like me standing next to damn Emmanuel Lewis.
Shaq was nowhere near as explosive as Zion.
I beg to differ from you. Look at this LSU. Shaq, for a big man,
he's 7 feet tall.
Exactly.
Zion is leaping off the floor. Zion is getting way up off the floor. Like, get all that weight up that high and then come down. His knees and his ankles can't handle it.
I think his body is where it is. Mace, what's your take on Zion? And are you buying and selling Zion Williamson coming in, making a big old splash, and being the lifter the NBA needs?
I don't know if he's gonna make a splash. I got to see him when they were in Atlanta. Freak athlete, just a freak of nature. He's gonna have to change the way he plays, though.
Okay.
I do see it. He's too big to be doing the things that he do.
Everybody be saying that.
For 82 games.
But is that just people that aren't that big just saying that, or? You know, I mean, it's like you haven't seen it, so how do we cast that judgment on this kid?
He couldn't make 30 games in college doing it. How you going to do 82?
Well, he didn't get hurt.
And I think that's the problem.
Uh-huh.
He did get hurt in college with the shoe incident.
So many games, right. It's just so many games in the pros, and you got to add the travel.
Right.
And, you know, him having to take care of it, and him having to change his diet.
So, well, I can agree with you on that it'll change. But you do time management, and we watch our own Trae Young, you know, hit that rookie wall too, you know, during that 83-game stretch, and you have to load manage it. And now he's coming in halfway through the season, you still got to load manage it, and you got to protect him from himself because he's still a young kid that's you know just hearing all this press, and now I want to go out of here and produce and perform in front of him, you know, live up to my number one pick.
I mean, he's a human highlight film, but he's just not going to be healthy.
I don't know. I guess I'll, you know, just wait to see, man. I just think that the kid, his body's his body. He's still 18 years old, and when we were all 18 years old, we can do some unworldly shit. You play football, you might get hit, and your body may contort a certain way. I mean, you just get back up, you know, and get it shaken off because you're young. Versus when you're older, and I think, you know, just something that happened, a freak accident.
Yeah, he has time to develop. I mean, his body.
Yeah.
That standpoint. So, I mean, because everybody was like, he needs to lose weight. He's too big. And I'm just like, well, he has time. I mean, he's been out the whole time.
Yeah. And so I didn't see it. I looked at a couple of his workouts, and you know, the practice session. He doesn't look like he lost any weight while he was down and out. No. So I don't think, you know, the Pelicans too concerned about it.
I mean, they should be, but they got to act like they're not because they already leveraged the farm on him.
Yeah, well, I mean, but again, they're medical professionals saying, "Hey, man, the kid just a big ass kid," and his body. Now, I did read they were trying to work on the way he runs. You know, I don't know how, you know, changing his running style was gonna help him, but
the mechanics of his running probably get him in awkward positions where
he
end up tweaking.
Well, that's why you give him shoe inserts offset. They give them funky ass shoe inserts to make it happen. Darren Adams said he was a man playing amongst boys. Now he's playing against other men, leaning and defending him. His body ain't gonna hold up. But DA, we hope not. I mean, we hope so. We hope his body holds up, brother. I mean, you know, he's a massive human being, and we'll see how it goes. You know, all indications during the preseason, he was looking pretty good. So, but we'll see how it goes now when you're going against cats that, you know, got to make this money for a living and really trying to get at you.
He literally just dunks. He was 71% from the field during the preseason. Like, he's not taking a mid-range shot in his career. He shot 4 3-pointers, and all the rest of them were dunks.
And DA say he needs to work out with LeBron James during the offseason. Now, he just might. And
That's
I mean,
a good idea.
Yeah, and part of that is understanding that, you know, listen, I got to get with somebody that understands about nutrition, changing your body type and doing all that. You know, I don't think it was such a big deal until you look back until, you know, Michael Jordan lost the second time to to the Pistons, he was like, listen, I got to get my ass in the gym. Scottie, you got to get your ass in the gym. And they came back with a whole, like when Scottie Pippen's got it hard on them weights, he like a whole different monster. You even look at the year that Jordan retired, shit, Pippen took him all the way to one game before the finals. Or now they didn't make it to the finals, but it was all Scottie Pippen, but his body changed. So I think Zion's going to, have that kind of metamorphosis where he's like, hey, I got to really maybe work on my diet. Maybe hook him up with Tom Brady, get that TB12 working.
He need all of it.
Yeah,
Hell, he might be able to get Tom and LeBron at the same time if Tom go to LA. So it'll be a one-stop shop.
Best of both worlds.
I don't know if, is he going to LA?
I don't know. We're going to get there.
Yeah,
though.
we'll get there with that one. All right, so now we're going to break off to the WNBA, and we're going to turn it our own Allegra Wells, and she got a special announcement for the WNBA segment.
Alrighty, so if you all didn't know, the CBA has officially raised the WNBA player salary. And as you know, this process is long overdue because these women, they deserve their money, right?
Okay.
So the average WNBA player salary is about $117. So now it's about $17,000.
Oh, okay. $117. That's slave labor. God damn.
My mistake, $117,000. So now it's about to go up to 83%. So now it'll be $215,000. But check this out. So their star/franchise player can make up until $500,000. And when I hear that, I'm like, well, I mean, it's something, but it's still not enough because when you think of a average franchise NBA player, they make how much? Like $1 million?
Shit, a franchise guy?
Right.
Yeah, well into the tens of millions of dollars a year. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's something, but it's not enough. Also, I know women who have children. Mm-hmm. They actually, the WNBA now is providing housing for women already in the WNBA. Mm-hmm. And also, they're actually going to get paid off maternity leave.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can go with that one. I think that's kind of like par for the course. If you got a professional team and you got ladies on there that, a ladies professional team, I think that's par for the course to do that.
Yeah. Right. And to think, it's crazy because, like, before, I'm like, dang, the WNBA didn't have this support before because it's like this is long overdue. So I feel like they should have had this. What's your take on it?
Well, got many takes on this. So I think it's nice that they got a pay raise, which is probably directly related to increased TV contracts. Because they don't.
It truly is.
They're not getting paid because they're women. They're not getting paid because their marketing is shit. Nobody goes to the games. They don't even play in NBA arenas. They play at colleges that are local to the area, and those stadiums be empty. You can't just pay them. Like, where the hell is the money going to come from? If they were bringing in millions, and by all means, they would make millions. They're not. The league isn't making enough money for them to get paid like NBA players. And then how many teams are in the WNBA? I mean, it's not very many.
12. It's 12.
Yeah,
so it's 12. Mm-hmm.
They're making
34 games.
So you about to get $215,000 to play for 2 months? The NBA season is all year.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is, and I'll turn it over to Mace. I know he works very closely with the Atlanta Dream. Okay. It's a professional sport, and part of that comes with the territory. And when you hear $500,000 as a top tier franchise person, you really do say like, damn, that's all you make. Right. That's a lot of damn money. Don't get me wrong. That's way above the working salary of a goddamn regular family. But you think about a professional athlete and you say, damn, that's all you make. So, Mace, I know you work closely with the Atlanta Dream and you do a lot with the WNBA. What have you heard from those athletes and those players about the new CBA for the WNBA?
The ladies, a lot of the ladies, they are happy because they're tired of having to go make the majority of their money overseas.
Right.
And that's been the biggest issue. You can't really promote the league because the players are gone. And then when they come back, when their season's overseas, they're going straight to training camp and into the WNBA season.
Oh,
and it probably takes them like maybe a month to kind of get themselves back used to the WNBA game.
Yeah, okay. I agree. It's tough. It's tough for them because just like you said, they're more popular overseas than, of course, in the States.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean...
That's why they making more. There's people coming to watch them.
Well, let me ask this, though, mate. That I really, I don't follow WNBA that closely. Mm-hmm. So they're basically playing year-round.
Yeah.
very close to it. So with that being said, and feeds to your point about a better product on the court, if I can make enough living wage here, say $300,000-$400,000 a year, I don't have to go overseas. So now I can give my body the opportunity to rest and do all this. So now when my WNBA season rolls around again, I got a much better product. I'm high flying. We're moving around a lot faster. Less injuries for my superstars, the whole nine. So now I don't have to worry about doing that. And that promotes longevity of superstars being in the league a little longer, building fan bases and things of that nature. And it will, in fact, allow for expansion teams to grow beyond that 12 teams they have right now and kind of move it that way. Okay.
Yeah, like the marketing pieces got to come up. If they can get people to start coming into
Promote
those
it better.
arenas, they can do a lot more. But it's gonna be like that until somehow they get people to start actually coming.
I think the TV deal will be a huge thing for them, and they can play good ball. I mean, it's just what it is. You just got to be a fan of basketball, in order, because there's not going to be a whole lot of dunking. There's going to be more of a cerebral game, a technical game, some athleticism. The 3-point ball, and the 3-ball is now where it's at in everybody's game, be it male or female. It's where it's at, and everybody want to see that part of the game. And they definitely can shoot that damn rock.
And just to add the last point, Skylar Diggins, she point guard for Dallas Wings.
She's cute too.
Everybody knows who Skylar
Oh
is.
my God, yes, of
I
course.
might not be no fan, maybe, but I damn
She's
sure know who
married.
Skylar is.
If you
She's
thought we didn't know who
married.
that was.
Well, as you know, she's a mother, and she actually played the WNBA season last season pregnant, and she didn't tell anybody. And she was talking about how it's unfortunate that her association didn't really have the right amount of support system, for mothers.
To be able to get through that. And that could definitely be, an issue right there. And then, you say, hey, I got to make this money, and I can't necessarily miss any game by, moving past that and not necessarily, divulging that I'm pregnant and so forth. So I can see how that could have been a problem. That could really, truly have been a damn problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm glad that they're taking care of it, and the ladies are happy. It's like Christmas to them.
Yeah, it is. Hey, shit, if I almost said make it rain, that would have been very insensitive
It would have.
and kind of misogynistic. So I'm glad I didn't say that, but I did say it out loud. Anyway.
We would have got it though.
Nah, you would have got it. You got a sick ass mind, okay? You got a sick ass mind. Hey, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a time, man. It is Dr. King's nationally recognized birthday.
Yes.
And since talking about the WNBA and their CBA, I want to give you guys a little known Black History fact, if I may, about an individual in baseball, MLB, by the name of Curt Flood. And Curt Flood basically changed the free agency piece in MLB. And just make a long story short, back in the day, baseball players were basically considered property. So if I drafted you, I had you for life. Like, you were my property. You couldn't play for nobody else. You just basically retire, and then that was it.
Damn.
And if I traded you, your ass belonged to them now. So go over there and play ball and be happy.
Wow.
Curt Flood was like, he won 7 straight gold gloves as center fielder, numerous World Series, got traded. He didn't want to go. And he basically sued the MLB. Went all with the high court of the land. He lost. But he put so much pressure on MLB and the Players Association and so forth, backing him behind that 3 years later, of course, some white pitchers were able to get free of their contract, and that basically sparked the MLB free agency. So all these cats out here that test the market, getting these $300 million and doing all that, so old black guy by the name of Flood, that made it all happen. So salute to you, Mr. Curtis Flood.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Next month is Black History
Oh, shit, we moving right along. What you got next?
Put on a recognition list for Black History Month.
He should. Like everybody, I gotta make sure DJ read this story. So he'll know, like, boy, goddamn, know your history, boy.
Right, inspiration.
Yeah, man. So coming up next, man, we got Conor McGregor, the Irishman,
Lord.
made his return to the UFC against Cowboy and dropped him in 40 seconds. I mean, Conor looked sharp.
That man is crazy.
He looked sharp, but it was for various reasons. Because Cowboy is an idiot. First of all, he came out and he let it be known that he was gonna try to fight his fight. I'm like, bruh, so you're not gonna take Conor to the ground? Like, if you do realize if you don't take him down, he's gonna knock you out. And that's exactly what happened. He tried to actually stand up and fight him. mean, Conor did have some little slick stuff. I mean, like those little shoulder shots. Like those shots were pretty slick. I ain't never seen anybody do that.
Hand-to-hand combat. I mean, it's just simply hand-to-hand combat. Cowboy was just, like you said, he wanted to come in and bully him because he thought he was older, he wasn't this. And then, he kind of caught that first knee or a thigh or whatever when he came in low and tried to get him to the ground. Then that stood him back up. And then them shoulder shots
he was getting them.
Rocked this world. It just was a dumbass game plan by Cowboy. And I'll be the first one to say I figured Cowboy was going to whoop McGregor's ass.
When he said what he was planning to do.
Well, I didn't hear all that. I just used the thing, when Rocky, I go back to my Rocky days when Rocky was getting ready to fight Clubber Lang. And Mickey looked over to Rocky and said, Rocky, he's an animal. He's an animal, Rocky. He'll kill you. Hell, Rocky ain't been hungry since you won the belt.
So he kill you to death.
Hey, Conor been goddamn chilling, kicking it. And Cowboy trying to make this payday. I just figured Cowboy was going to knock his ass, tap him out. Get him on the ground and pound him and tap him out.
Yeah, but they say Conor's been like on a whole new diet plan and everything. Like they either had a kid and mellowed out to try to stop all the nonsense. He quit drinking while he was in his camp. Like he's revamped a whole lot of stuff and he's conducting himself.
Yeah.
And I mean he looked like it. He looked a lot stronger than what he was presenting before.
Yeah, well I guess he has to. I mean shit, those checks start to run out after a while.
Yeah.
And you get a couple of lawsuits for doing a bunch of dumb shit, throwing trash cans at buses. Shit fuck with them decimals a little
that wasn't
bit.
a trash can, that was a hand truck.
Yeah, a hand truck. It fucked with them decimals.
It went straight through that way.
Shit, after that, you're like, hey, whoa. You gotta get your ass back in the ring. Yeah. Man, did you check out the fight Saturday?
Listen, I'm so glad I didn't spend money on that fight.
I was gonna ask y'all, did y'all bet money on that fight?
I was going with that.
Shout out to whoever on Periscope decided to go live with it. I had to watch it in Russian, but I mean, it was just for the second, so I was good.
Das Vidanya. If he dies, he dies.
I watched the whole fight via text message. Somebody just recorded the whole 40 seconds. Like, here you go. Like, bet.
Hey,
The power of social media.
So I think they had, 10 fights on the card that whole day. Did MMA and the UFC hurt their brand a little bit by having those 10 undercard fights with people you didn't know, and then that fight only lasting 40 seconds? Did it kind of hurt them a little bit, or do you say, well, you got your money's worth because you got 10 fights on the undercard that really weren't that exciting, but they were there?
They give the other guys a chance just to get their name out there and be known. Like next time you see him, you'll be like, I remember seeing that guy before the Conor fight. Mm-hmm. Use a fight like McGregor to pub everybody.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying it was 10 of them motherfuckers. Like you said, like you literally like, man, they gonna come on.
They knew McGregor was gonna whoop his ass. That's why they made it. That's why it was so many fights. But now they talking about this nonsense. Well, I thought that they were actually trying to schedule it.
Nah.
But Floyd Mayweather he posted a fake promo for Mayweather McGregor 2 in 2020. But that ain't gonna happen,
Floyd,
man.
He bored.
He bored as hell, Mace. He just really, truly.
Yeah, he bored.
He gotta find a way to get his name out there.
I mean, there'd probably still be a lot of money in it.
Nah, I don't think anybody worked there with any sense. Like, I'll be just like Mace, like waiting on somebody posting on Periscope.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't pay for it, but people will buy it.
It's free watching on Twitter and Periscope. And Instagram stories.
We don't promote that around here at Petty Sports. We don't promote piracy. Hey, if you gonna watch it, pay for it.
Well, true.
Well, get your fire stick. You know how that works.
Allegedly, it's free on Periscope and Twitter. We don't know.
Yeah, man. But Dana White came out and made a statement about the Mayweather thing. He was like, nah, like Conor is more than likely this year he's gonna fight Khabib again. Mm-hmm. He's gonna get his ass whooped again.
Well, I know you said that Mayweather was blowing him up that night of the fight, trying to, and whatever the case may be, there's nothing for Mayweather to prove, and then McGregor will be even dumber to get back in the boxing ring with Mayweather again. And Mayweather damn sure better not get his ass in the octagon with McGregor.
Oh, no.
I mean, it'll be some real shit at that point.
Less than 40 seconds.
Yeah, it'll be some real shit at that point, man. So I would hope that that's not the case. They did it. They did the Rocky and the Hulk Hogan expedition, the exhibition fight, the greatest man alive, the greatest meatball, and it's what it was. So, you know, be done with it and keep it moving, man.
Mayweather just carried him around the ring until he was like, all right, y'all got enough of your money's worth? Let me go ahead and knock him out.
We're going to pop his ass a few times.
Could have done it to him in the second round.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, if he fights McGregor in the octagon, it's literally going to be 30 seconds before a tap out. If by any chance at all that he don't connect with him with a flying knee or a foot, once he gets inside of his guard, he's going to take him down and tap his ass the fuck out.
I mean, he can Anderson Silva him.
Yeah.
Like, all he got to do to Mayweather is just kick his legs. Like,
Then
he's
he gonna
not used to
break his
moving out
ass
the
down.
way. Like,
Yeah.
man, like, all of a sudden, your left leg is dead. You get
Fuck
dropped.
around, tear MCL. He fuck around, tear a rupture MCL on it.
He doesn't train for that.
Not at all, man. That
He ain't
shit
ready
be
for them
ugly.
leg kicks.
So, man, listen, we got the rock on. We're going to move on to our next topic. But before we do, you guys are watching Petty Sports on King's Broadcasting Channel. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, and soon to be YouTube. And also, you can listen to us online at the Pulse 880. Now, King's Broadcasting Studios out of Atlanta, Georgia, brings you several different types of shows. One being what you're watching right now, Petty Sports with your man DB, Fees, ALAYGRA Wells, and our man about town, Maceo Hurd. Also, we have 808 in the Beats on Friday nights with our man D Bizzle. Sundays at 8 p.m., the No Name Show. We also have coming up for you the Petty Man himself, Petty Podcast. And then you also look out for Cigar Life, Cigars and Libation coming soon into 2020. Stay tuned. Let us know. And if you're interested in launching your own podcast or even want to come in and be an intern and learn how we do what we do on the backside, hit us up, Pettyman72, Michael Bell on Facebook. Don't do Mike Bell. I don't know why he want to be all proper shit. It's Michael Bell on Facebook or Acid Mac or either one of the hosts up here. We'll get you in touch with the right people. Again, you're watching King's Broadcasting Studios out of Atlanta, Georgia. So now back to the show. What we got next, Fees?
Yes, sir, man. Back to the business. My man, OBJ.
Oh, boy.
Mr. Beckham Jr.
Sounds so close to BJ.
My
It
crush.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, love. I slipped.
Your
Go
crush.
ahead.
Oh.
You say your crush?
Yeah, it's my crush.
Yeah,
I
you don't
feel
stand a
like
chance.
that- I mean, he's like,
I think you just anatomically made up wrong.
You
for what he's looking
mean he
for.
like old white men?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I think you just anatomically made that wrong.
Well, before everybody was thinking, is he gay or not? have y'all seen his girlfriend? She's bad. She's pretty. You know, but that could be a cover up.
Aaron
I don't know.
Hernandez had a fiance and a kid.
Ooh, you
That's
just
a
read
story for a
that.
different day
Now,
right there,
His
okay?
boyfriend.
Different
Now,
story.
allegedly, now that came out this
Different
week.
story.
We gotta say allegedly because now there's a guy that went to high school with him that said that was all false. That guy wasn't even the quarterback of the high school team. So
That's not the first time I've heard of Aaron Hernandez, though.
allegedly, he had a high school lover of the same sex. Allegedly.
Okay, but it wasn't the quarterback that came on.
Well, that's what the quarterback said, but there's someone disputing that piece of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got to do that next week too, man. We'll break down, the killer inside with Aaron Hernandez. Max, you ready for that one, man? I think we need to do a deep dive on that one.
Always.
Yeah, we'll get all the way into it next week.
Yeah, we got a break before the Super Bowl, man.
Ain't gonna be no game next week
I
anyway.
think that'd be a hell of a breakdown, man, to look at that and see, Mace had a sports dad. I'm a sports dad, that kind of, push the kids and do all that. Kind of see that dynamic and how it affects the young athletes. So tune in next week. We'll do that as well.
Oh, yeah. So now, the whole
OBJ.
Odell fallout. First, you just saw the video of him with these money handshakes. So, big fat wads of cash. He dapping everybody up, giving them money. So I'm like, man, he tripping. He's trying to get these boys, he's trying to get them pinched. And then they came out and said the money was fake. So it was like, okay. It seemed like he was just mocking the NCAA, saying the players should get paid. Then Joe Burrow comes out on a podcast the next morning and told everybody the money was real. Like, oh, since I'm not a student athlete anymore, yeah, it was real money. Like, Joe!
Nah.
What the hell?
Nah. You can't blame Joe.
Why? Shut up, Joe!
No. See,
blame
the problem is, and Mace, tell me if you think I'm wrong on this one. LSU and they bogus ass, want to be carried Washington, scandal-proofing motherfuckers want to come out and say this shit was fake. It's too many hands done touch this money. And Joe Burrow's like, I ain't got to lie. Oh, he gave me some money.
They was riding with that story until Joe came
But
out.
that's bullshit. Hey, man, you don't even put that out there like that. Hey, man, do like everybody else do. We're not sure, what was going on with the money. It's under investigation. Let that shit go a month. Y'all do y'all little tour to the White House and come out and be like, it was determined that, some of the players did not receive real money. Ain't nobody gonna give a fuck about it.
It's like now all of them gonna have to go to the draft. Everybody who got money.
Because now what they're gonna do is they're gonna say, okay, so-and-so said he got $500. He gave it back to OBJ. Yeah, I received all my money back. Ain't nobody gave back shit. It's just dumb.
But it was just dumb as hell, period. But then, it got worse, though.
But
even before we get into the locker room.
It's like a late infomercial, but then there's more. But wait, there's more.
It is. There's a lot more. He got escorted out of the stands for arguing with the band director because he was trying to climb up on the damn ladder, looking like he wanted to lead the band or something. Like he was drunk as hell.
I didn't know that.
He was out there just wasted or something. Like I don't know what he had going on. I mean, I have heard that every time LSU plays the next song, they get fined for it, and he pays it. So he probably wanted to get up there and direct it and lead.
Talking about that suck a tiger's suck that tiger's dick.
Yeah. Yeah, they call that the next song.
Oh, so
when
he
they
pays
play
the fine.
He pays the fine. So I'm assuming it being a national championship and him trying to get up there on the podium, he was trying to actually direct the band singing it like, yo, I pay when y'all play it anyway. Let me get up here.
Well, see, Mace, tell me what you think about that. If he want to get up there and direct a song, he's paying the goddamn fine. I think he's a goddamn booster. He should be able to do the fuck he want to do.
Hey, man, everything Odell does is about Odell.
But they should let him
He
do
has a camera crew with him. He got, Odell is a superstar. I mean, he's the most recognizable guy, and the kids love when he's around.
Mm-hmm.
When they were here for the SEC, when they were here for the Peach Bowl, Odell showed up to deliver shoes and headphones. The kids went crazy. I mean, they love this guy. So
yeah.
It's Odell.
It's Odell.
And you know what you're getting, though, right?
About this. Right. Like, if anybody was talking about what they saw Odell do, they haven't been paying attention to Odell.
But the kids keeps getting worse.
No, but see, the thing about it is, like I said, LSU made it worse by saying it was fake money. Whoever that publicist is that come out of the athletic director's office should be fucking fired. Hey, man, it's under investigation.
Yeah, they fired.
Yeah, it's under investigation.
Well, now the NCAA, the SEC, and LSU are all investigating it.
It don't matter. They not gonna find shit. They gonna ask everybody to bring out a camera, and then you're gonna try to look at all the video footage from the confetti and all this shit of everybody he walked around and shook hands, and you're gonna say, well, did he give you some money? Well, he gave me a $10 bill. He only gave me a $20 bill. Here you go, you can have it back. And that's all it's gonna be. They're not about to penalize LSU for this shit now. Odell might not be able to come back on the sideline no more.
Yeah, I think that's over with.
Well, it got even worse, though, because, see, we ain't even got to the meat of it. Okay. This one does have a video.
Mm-hmm.
Odell was in the locker room while, there's been debates on whether it was an officer or a security guard.
I think it was an officer.
He looked like an officer.
He's a security guard.
Oh.
They said a security guard.
Dude had a badge and a gun and a body cam.
They got that now. That's just part of it. Shit, he working in the national championship game. You better have all liabilities covered.
But my man looked like he was trying to get the players. They were saying they couldn't smoke in the locker room,
right.
And then somebody also said that they had liquor in a Gatorade bottle. So he was like,
Drew Brees got allergies. They can't smoke in their locker room.
I guess that's what it is, huh? Another coddled quarterback.
So wait, wasn't the cigars provided from LSU? I think I heard. Who were they provided
Joe
by?
Burrows had it. I think LSU did provide it, but
Yeah.
I think they weren't designed to be blowing smoke in the locker rooms, right?
Yeah. So, man, as you can see on the video that's playing right now, the police is trying to reprimand one of the players. OBJ is standing behind him, and then he gave... Well, no, before he did it, he just sat there as he took a long gander at that man's ass.
That is where I see it. That's what I see.
He stared at it for a good 30 seconons, I'm about to hit that.
Yeah, I'm about to hit that.
And then he smacked him on the ass, and then backs up on some more
it looked like I did it. Watch it. He gonna tell us watch this.
I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, you gonna watch a little crush. You watch
there
a little
it is.
crush.
See, he's just staring. He's still staring. He's sizing it up.
Oh, look, man. I'm about to.
There you go.
I'm about to get this thing. Oh yeah.
Listen, I don't know why he did that.
It's not an attaboy.
No.
It's not a good job, kid.
It wasn't in a celebration moment.
It's not when the celebration on the field. You go to work, kid. This here like a predator stalking his prey.
Do you see the gander?
Hey, Mace, I think he was stalking this cop, and he had been listening to Lil Wayne, you know.
Oh man. I mean,
Like a cop car.
Hey man, and he looked at it and he said, "Man, I want to touch that ass."
Oh, and he did it.
And he did it.
don't some of the other football players like during the game they pay each other on the bus?
An attaboy.
Oh.
There's nothing sexual
happens
behind
after you make a
that.
good play.
It's just like okay,
Yeah.
right, a good play.
And it's
okay.
But
quick.
But that's different. This is
yeah,
different.
man
This
rules.
right here?
You don't smack another man on the ass.
Okay, yeah, that's different. Yeah.
For no damn reason.
For no
What you
damn
touch
reason.
this man for? And then he's an officer.
Officer, sword.
In any other situation, he probably
top
turned
flight.
around and tased his ass. And
Top flight security.
Other world.
top flight don't carry no gun.
Top flight. The new age top flight.
My-
They
my-
didn't
my
have-
man had
they
it.
didn't
He was
have no
strapped.
gun. So yeah, but I mean, so he was an armed security guy in the LSU locker room. And the problem I had with it was when it came out and they made the announcement that there was an arrest warrant. After.
much.
And I said to myself, well, and at first they said it was an officer. I said, well, why the hell didn't the cop arrest him right then and there if he felt like he was assaulted? And then, you know, it turns out that this security guy, and I'm guarantee you there's a lot of pressure. Odell probably reached out to him and shot him a couple of grand and said, look, man, I'm sorry for any kind of damages, don't press no charge. Because he doesn't press charges. There is no case. Now, if he had actually been a sworn officer of the law, then it's outside of his jurisdiction. He didn't have to press charge. At that point, the city or the state picks it up, the county picks it up. But he's just a general citizen.
Yeah, well, he tried to get sexual assault. That's what he went for.
Ooh.
And they dropped it to a simple battery.
Ooh,
He trying to get that money. That police.
Yeah, I mean,
officer.
simple,
I think I'd have did that one.
simple battery. I mean,
He got enough out there on here of people thinking that the guy's suspect that he goddamn, you know.
it don't even matter if you suspect or not. He grabbed a man's ass and it's on tape.
Yeah, he assaulted him. He left a wound. I got superficial flesh wounds on my left cheek, Your Honor. I can't even sit down. I'm going through PTSD, Your Honor. 12 million. 12 million.
He touched my ass on national TV.
I feel like my manhood has been. I feel like he forced himself upon me.
I feel like he was just too. He's just too hype. I don't know. He just got too excited. Odell.
Mace, you just think that's Odell being Odell, huh, Mace? Did we lose Mace?
Uh-oh.
Hey, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. We hear you.
Hey, yeah. Everything Odell do is about Odell, man. Simple.
I just, hell of a talent, man. He just can't stay out his own damn way.
I mean, I really think the only reason Odell don't come out is he don't want to be the face of the movement.
What the fuck, man?
Oh,
Allegedly. We gotta do our media obligation right here. Allegedly.
I mean, that's not derogatory in any way.
Allegedly.
I'm just saying, if he were to come out and make a statement like
Allegedly.
that, if he were to do that,
Scary.
then he would more than likely be the poster child of all things that represent it. I don't think he wants that.
Okay. But he wants the attention. So I don't think he shies away from the attention person. So if that was truly him, I think he would be who he is. What's our next time? What we got going on now? Because y'all us in media trouble around here. Might be goddamn.
no.
FCC gonna shut this shit down, Maceo. You lucky you ain't in the studio.
Very carefully presented. I don't want to go there with them.
Confiscate laptops and everything.
I'm not going there at all. I ain't do that.
What you got?
Just made a partial statement. Man, so Tom Brady has sold his Massachusetts house, moved to Greenwich, Connecticut, which is reportedly like one of the 12 richest neighborhoods in the country. So he just moved into a super ritzy spot. They say that's where his other child that he had with his first wife, he moved there to be closer to him.
Okay.
That's what's been reported.
How far of a difference is that? I mean, in miles, hours, drive,
Oh, I don't know.
They got a private jet anyway, so it really doesn't matter. It's manageable.
I mean, it's not like he's gonna be commuting every day to go to camp. So like, it's really, that part is a non-story. But he also was seen in Vegas talking with the owner of the Raiders, newly in Las Vegas. And they say he also has just recently came out and said that he's open to the idea of playing for another team.
Where will he play? When he gonna retire?
Well, clearly he's not retired.
I know.
Not this year.
I'm just saying.
So
I mean, all things just weighing out everything together. He's now an unrestricted free agent, which they revamped his contract last year at the beginning of the year to give him a raise. So he got $23 million last year instead of $15 with the restructure. But it also had the language in it to void the contract at the end of the season, which has now happened. So March 18th, he'll be an unrestricted free agent officially. New England is not going to pay him because he's saying that he's definitely also said in reports that he's not going to take the hometown discount. So he's going to want a real check. Like, he's going to want that big contract. Whether it's just for 1 or 2 years, he wants to get paid. New England's not going to do it. They haven't been doing it. Well, they've been paying him via signing bonuses, but clearly they're not able to keep doing that. I don't really understand how they were even able to do that in the first place.
Right. Well, it's just the magic of the numbers. Mace, do you pay a 40-some-year-old quarterback quarterback premium in 2020?
Negative.
Okay.
No, nah. This is going to be the interesting thing. Once he goes on these free agent trips, I think other teams are going to be like, Tom, we can't give you $35, $40 million. We can't do that.
So you think it's going to be an eye-opener for Tom when he goes out and tests the market?
I totally do. I believe it.
I think somebody going to give him one of those New England-style contracts where he comes out there and they be like, okay, we'll pay you $15 million and we'll give you a $20 million signing bonuses so you can get off my books.
That's still a hefty premium for.
That's what New England was doing for him for a good bit of the time he was there, which is why he never showed up on the top paid quarterbacks. He's getting money. They just give him all his money at the beginning of the season in a bonus.
Right.
And then he had all these incentives.
And you never planned on cutting him, so you didn't have any dead cap. You didn't have any dead money on the top of that.
No.
Let me ask you this, and y'all tell me this. We talked about LA, you got Carr out there, Las Vegas,
Las Vegas, yeah.
Phillip Rivers just recently moved out of his house. I guess it's the new trend now. When quarterbacks get mad at the team, I'm going to move out of the fucking house and show y'all I'm for real. Phillip Rivers moves out of his house out there with the Chargers. Where would you guys see Tom Brady possibly landing?
Vegas, I mean, not Vegas. The Chargers is the only really place I could see him going.
Okay.
He go to L.A. He's from Cali.
Okay.
He can get out there. He's got a whole lot of other business ventures. He'll pretty much be on the same trajectory as what Braun is doing. He'll be out there. He'll probably start doing collab stuff with him.
Trying to set up his TB12 stuff and trying to get those studios running and going.
Yeah, I mean, and then like Giselle would love to be there too. Other cities just aren't attractive. Like, even though it may make sense on the field, I don't see him actually just moving there and taking his family to any of these other places. Like the Indy, I think that's dead. He's not going to Indianapolis.
I wouldn't see that either. Mace, what say you?
I honestly don't want to see Tom Brady in another uniform. I don't. It's gonna break my heart to see that. Again, I'm gonna say this: free agency is gonna really open his eyes, and I think he's gonna retire.
You think when it all said and done and the push come to shove, he's gonna be like, you know what?
Bump it.
I'm out.
They gonna walk away, and to me, it would be best for him because even if he comes back to this New England team next year, I think he's gonna really look at this team and say, you know what, we still not gonna be able to climb that mountain because everybody in the AFC gonna get better next year.
So what is that? So maybe you know more not about it, Fees. What kind of as far as their picks are concerned, coming up in the 2020 pick NFL draft this year, what are they looking like and where are they at salary cap wise?
Got the 23rd pick.
Can they bring in more talent is what I'm asking.
Oh, absolutely, man. Got a 23rd pick in the draft. He just made $23 million, and he's off the books. They got money to bring folks in. With who's available and what the team looks like, I mean, they still have the number 1 ranked defense in the league. They're all coming back. So you have an extremely strong defense. Your offensive line will be healthy coming into next season, which was a problem. Devlin will be back, which they like to use the fullback in their running game. All of their wide receivers will have they'll have a lot more time to actually learn whatever system they're going to try to adopt. What I think that New England actually needs is because these wide receivers have problems getting open, they need a quarterback that can actually extend plays. The way that offense is constructed, I would like to see them...
Jake Fromm.
Shit. I would like to see them... I'd like to see them pick up Marcus Mariota in free agency and draft Jalen Hurts.
Ooh. Mariota. So
You got a bridge gapper and then another guy who can come in. He doesn't have to play right away, which he probably could. But if you bring in Jalen, you can usher in a whole new era of New England football. And Josh McDaniels is not a stranger to it because he had Tebow and brought in the damn Florida system to make Tebow successful. So he's done this before.
All right, Petty Nation out there, what do you guys think Tom Brady might end up at, where he might land? I'm gonna go and say, you brought up a good point about Mariota. I think he's gonna be out of Tennessee. I think he's like, fuck it,
He's a free agent and he got benched.
Yeah. Hold on, what does TB12 land? I honestly would, I never thought about that scenario. Getting Mariota, drafting Hurts, and then going that route. I don't necessarily know if Hurts would, want to be up in New England. What about rumors that, man, New England's just not a good place to play? And I'm not talking about the climate, the people, the this, that, and the third. Just playing with Brady, Belichick, and the entire organization is a stressful environment to even perform in and be in. And, like, cats, they playing, they winning, but they ain't really happy. Like, what? Have you heard that, Mace, at all?
Nah, I haven't heard that.
Like, they just don't like that. It's you always under that microscope. It's the Belichick way. And it's like, it's not really, like, when they get done with that shit, like, man, I got to just decompress.
Well, that's even more reason why Jalen Hurts would fit. He's brought up in the Saban way. So the Saban and the Belichick way is the same damn thing. Those dudes, they coach very similar.
Somebody whispered a couple of weeks ago that, the Sith Lord runs the camp down at UGA, and just wouldn't be surprised if Jake State Fromm shows up in Foxborough.
That's where he going. That's what
Nah.
Jake Fromm will be a Patriot.
Nah.
Hey, man.
Book it.
You say book it, man.
Patriot Nation
Look
is... We are all the way against that.
Y'all can have him.
Why would you want the quarterback that was running the number 50th ranked offense in the country, and that was clearly the Achilles heels to their offense was shit? Why would anyone take their quarterback?
I'm gonna say this one more time. NFL coaches look down on college coaches. They feel like once they get guys into their system, they can fix them because they're gonna be there all day.
Right.
Bill Belichick drafts Georgia players every year.
Yeah.
He runs Georgia's
Never a
pro day
quarterback.
every year.
Yeah, needed to.
He loves Jake Fromm.
He took Stidham and Danny Etling. He drafts quarterbacks.
But we didn't have nobody come out of after Stafford. Shit, who else is there?
We don't want none of them.
Oh my God! Y'all about to get Jake from State Farm, that little kid from Brunswick, Georgia.
Hell
Y'all about
no.
to get him. Yeah, y'all can have him too.
Go for Jalen.
So I think I will see him. You got to mention the thing about LA and the climate. I think either Miami will be a perfect fit for TB12. They don't have anything else working right
They
now.
have nothing, period.
And
He ain't going there.
and my long horse shot. I know a lot of you gonna say, man, you crazy as hell. Chicago Bears.
Bruh.
I'm telling you right now, Chicago Bears. Here it is, right? You come into the NFC, Aaron Rodgers not going to be no threat for you. Detroit really not going to be no threat for you. Minnesota teetering on that thing, and if Kirk Cousins come back and do it again, which we don't know he can, not really going to be no threat for you. You got a defense already in place, ready to go. You got a playoff caliber defense that can go deep into the playoff. You have some pretty decent weapons on offense. They just had a shit for quarterback.
Yeah, that's Jake Fromm.
No, I'm saying that Tom Brady could end up in Chicago.
Mitch Trubisky is Jake Fromm.
Yeah. You stupid.
That's what he's gonna be.
And that's my long shot pick. Even though Giselle won't like the cold, but they already leaving Foxborough. They ain't goddamn gonna be chilling on the south side. I see it as that could be that one place where it'd be like, you know what? But they gave Mitchell all that money. So now, do you scrap him? Do you make him a backup? What do you do?
If there was a dark horse, I would say it would be Dallas. Dallas is the issue they had was not with the players. They got the personnel to be a contender like off top. Their play calling was so atrocious. If Brady was to come in there he could actually check in and out of the right sets.
But do you think that they're gonna sit Dak down to bring Brady in? Now, and see, he's not in a troubled space.
Can't put it past Jerry. He'd be like, we're going to bring him in for 1 year.
This is fucking true.
We'll bring him in for 1 year, get us a championship, and you can have it back.
Dak, you need a tutorial on how this thing should run. I can almost see that, but I wouldn't bet it because of the stats that he put up this year, even though they may be empty stats. You know, I just don't see them as looking at it and saying, man, we got a quarterback controversy. Chicago, on the other hand, they definitely, I mean, Mitchell Trubisky just fucked them over.
See, man, if San Francisco gets number 6.
Maceo out there being chased by dogs. He running around the block, and that dog trying to get at his ass.
If San Francisco gets Super Bowl number 6, then Jerry is going to want to do something to try to catch it.
That's your kill out there. But, yeah, so that's just my dark horse pick, man, you know, that he'll end up in Chicago. And to be quite honest with you, I think, you know, I would love to see him in the NFC. Just shit, man, go to work. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we can do it again. You know, out of all the quarterbacks out there, the evil empire and all that shit, we talk about it, Tom Brady's that one guy I think everybody kind of secretly root for, like, man, let's see if this underdog can continue this goddamn hell of a run, you know, and make it happen. He goes to another team, it solidifies him as the GOAT. If he does, you know, he takes him, you know, deep into the playoffs. He ain't got to win the whole goddamn thing. It'd just be like, okay, now he wasn't just a system quarterback. He was and he is the GOAT. He's that guy, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need that to cement it, but if he does it, it'll just make it that much more ridiculous.
So, Mason, we coming up on your segment next, brother. We got some wide outs that's pissed off around here. What you got, Fees, on this?
Man, Terrell Owens. He got snubbed on the 100-year anniversary team. Didn't get put on there. What I think they had, it was either 10 or 12 wide receivers, and he didn't make the cut, which clearly he's one of the top 3 wide receivers to ever play the game, which was next level ridiculous.
My God, T.O., baby.
He took it a step further, went on Undisputed, and told them boys that he's better than Randy Moss.
He bold.
Yeah, he say he better than my man.
Better than Randy? Like last time I checked, last time I checked, Terrell, your name was not a verb.
Ooh. It could have very well been you got T.O.'d.
I mean, nobody says that.
But because they said you got Moss, because they made that.
Well, when the hell did T.O. do that? That's a Moss thing.
Ain't nobody around there doing sit-ups in their driveway when they on a holdout, guy. Getting that six-pack working.
Yeah, but that ain't got nothing to do with football.
At the end of their driveway, ain't nobody doing that.
They still do it to this day. You got Moss. People ain't never like these young folks ain't never seen Randy play and they know about it because he got a segment.
Well, we understand that. I mean, they just advertisement, the media hypes up some things like that. But it's a sticky situation. So before you give us the facts and the numbers, because I know you got some numbers over there.
I got lots of.
I want to turn our resident wide out himself, Maceo Hurd. Who better, T.O. or Moss?
Man, listen. Terrell Owens is a much better receiver than Randy Moss.
What?
Oh, wow.
Get it? What home is that?
His mic off.
My man, Maceo Hurd has just dropped the bomb. Said T.O.'s a much better wide out than Mr. Moss.
You better come with a lot to support that, because I got you.
It's not even up for debate. Terrell Owens runs every route on the route tree.
What's the one route Randy Moss run, please, sir?
He runs the post, he runs the post corner, and he runs the fly.
The go route.
That's it.
Yeah.
And when we listen, Randy Moss was a great receiver. The one thing there's 2 things that has helped Randy Moss. When he went to New England, you got to think now. We don't even remember his days in Oakland. And a lot of people don't remember the reason he got ran out of New England when it was time for him to go. He reverted back to being Randy Moss.
No, he didn't.
And as he moved on, yes, he did.
They ran him out of New England because he went on a press conference and started talking about he wanted a new contract, and they hadn't even discussed it with him, and you can't talk to the media in New England.
That's Randy Moss.
Listen, he went back to being Randy Moss.
That's Randy Moss.
Opinionated.
He said he wanted another contract.
Listen, when he was with Chris Carter in Minnesota, they kind of curved that out of him. Go ahead, Mace.
everywhere Terrell Owens has been, he has been the guy. Regardless.
Philadelphia was his best.
Next to Jerry Rice, it's Terrell Owens. The numbers don't lie.
He won a Super Bowl.
What numbers aren't lying exactly?
What I'm saying, he
Yeah,
won.
he got him there.
You making a lot of statements, but you ain't got nothing behind them. Just say the numbers don't lie. Which ones don't lie?
We don't have to see this. Here we go. We don't look at on the field.
So basically, what May's saying, you can look at empty stats and did it. Both Hall of Fame receivers, but when it comes down to in between the line, which one of these wideouts gonna be able to be more of a game player day in and day out versus a guy that can just run the deep post or the go route?
Nice.
Terrell Owens more the complete wideout. Now I'm gonna be devil's advocate before you get into your numbers. I'm on the side with T.O. because when T.O. came out of high school, he was not heavily recruited. As a matter of fact,
fault is that?
Wait. As a matter of fact, the only way he got the goddamn UTC Chattanooga because when the coach came down there and said, "I'll take this kid, T.O., if the other kid come."
He was a basketball player.
Yeah, he never started a game of football till his senior year, and I use that because he went in, he reinvented himself, he became a weight room rat, the whole nine, and he got himself together. He wasn't like a Randy Moss that just got that natural dog-ass ability.
Randy was an all-state basketball player, too.
But I'm saying he was a natural all-made ability. Like he came out of the womb like an Allen knife, just a natural. And so T.O. made himself into who he was.
Okay.
And when you look at that hard work, that tenacity, that grind that you put into that, willing to go in there, and then he had the greatest teacher of all time, and Jerry Rice telling him, like, listen, you come out here on this field, it's ball to the wall every time. Jerry Rice just goddamn ran a route at 50-some years old, and then came out and hyped the crowd up and ran the entire football field.
Boss was accused of quitting on plays.
Yeah, so Terrell Owens has never been accused of quitting on plays.
He's been accused of destroying locker rooms.
No. See, if you can't handle Leon get my good side, it's on you. Because I'm coming here, I need you to be on your A game when you tip your ass on this sideline.
Let's not act like Randy was the bad guy and T.O. was a saint. There's a reason why T.O. could get snubbed.
I didn't say that. What I'm saying is, you can't goddamn deal with these pencil pushers and these goddamn keyboard thugs that call themselves sports writers and want to hold their nuts on this guy. That's all I'm saying. And Randy wasn't no light guy either. Go ahead,
Right.
Mate.
And that's what I want to say, Dwight. The last, and I know this from just being around NFL writers and the media every day. If Randy Moss didn't become media, he wouldn't have been first ballot.
Come on, man. Come on. They didn't like Randy Moss. Randy Moss was considered to be
They
a damn
hated Randy
diva.
Moss.
They won't even allow T.O. to become media.
Yeah.
Randy, he fed into the game. He started playing the game right when
Rand-
he retired, right when he left New England.
Randy has committed himself to doing that.
T.O. never.
So now give me your numbers. I want to hear these numbers you got because I know you finna give it to me.
I got plenty. More than just numbers.
Okay.
So, outside of their numbers, just look who they played with. T.O. came into the league and he played with Steve Young.
Okay.
He left Steve Young. Well, actually, as Steve Young was ushered
going
out,
out,
Jeff
he
Garcia
just
came in, who was
Right.
very good.
Okay.
And then went to Donovan McNabb. And then Tony Romo.
You really count Romo?
I mean, Tony Romo has like top 10 stats.
Oh, fuck Romo.
He threw for a lot of yards. I mean, Romo never won anything, but
Fumble
you
ain't
can't.
shit.
I mean, Romo was going to way distantly
But-
down the road make the Hall of Fame at some point.
Romo fucked that team up because he kept throwing the wit and they stalled T.O. out.
But this isn't
go
about
ahead,
Romo
but
like
go
that.
Ahead, go ahead. You brought him
All we're
up.
saying is
though.
Romo is not a shitty quarterback by any
Okay,
stretch.
You brought him up. Let's go.
And he played with Fitzmagic for a hot second.
Okay.
Carson Palmer. No, I mean, Carson had a very good career. He got hurt in the playoffs like
how
every
you
year.
keep-
He was
yeah,
like,
I'm not refuting who you said. I'm letting you go through it.
so now look at the other side.
Okay.
On Randy's side, you got Randall Cunningham, Dante Culpepper, Brad
Need to
Johnson.
stop right there though. Go back to the Viking days.
That's where I started.
I know. And so, who were the other receivers on that team when he was there?
And he was with Chris Carter.
And it was Chris Carter, Randy Moss, and damn, I can't think of the other cat's name. But anyway, what I'm saying is you had
Jake Reed.
So
we gonna say San Francisco didn't have a squad because Jerry Dan Rice was still in San Francisco when T.O. came in with J.J. Stokes and all the boys.
What I'm about to say to you is this: when you knock when you knock down a quarterback and you say that, all I'm going to tell you is that you got 2 Hall of Famers on the same team, and Jake Reed was there, as well as you had a running game. The whole night, so it wasn't just the fact that I don't want you to skew the fact that saying, "Hey, he played with these Hall of Fame quarterbacks, he's a good quarterback." But go ahead.
I'm like, you're not even going to actually let me even get through anything. You're going to jump in and then just try to completely skew the whole argument.
Carson Palmer, and I looked at you crazy. Like, well, Carson Palmer was. So go ahead. I'm sorry, sir.
Kerry Collins, Aaron Brooks, who he played with Tom Brady for a hot second. Mm-hmm. Matt Castle for a whole season because Brady got hurt, and then he played with Vince Young. And Kerry Collins again.
Okay.
The quarterback list on T.O.'s side is far superior to what Moss played with.
Okay, but on those teams, he was the only weapon. The latter years, except for the Brady year, and he wasn't even the number.
He still was it.
Okay, but what I'm saying, so he was the number 1 target. So his stats could be considered just like we say those fluffy stats. You know, so when you look at it.
I'm not done.
Oh,
we got the quarterback stats. Like now, these are who the quarterbacks they played for. If we start talking about just the best year that they had, Randy's best year was 11 receptions higher, 200 yards higher. He holds the record for most touchdowns in a season at 23, which is like T.O. never got more than 16. Randy did that 4 times, over 16. His yards per catch for his career are way higher.
He ran the goal
T.O.
route.
played more games. I mean, whose fault is that?
But when you start doing these, you gotta understand that if I'm out jumping everybody, I'm mossing everybody. It's simple, man. Hey, I'm a runner 4.2. He was 6'4". Wait. I'm a runner 4.2. I'm 6'4". I can out jump every fucking body. Throw it up. That ain't a true. So that almost goes back to my shit about Richard Sherman and goddamn Darrell Reeves.
We're not there yet.
Oh, we're not there yet. But inside of this game, there's guys that got a natural advantage, and there's those that got to run these underneath routes. They got to be that Julian Edelman to get in this shit and get there. To understand what a soft zone is and sit my ass down and get it.
You can't knock him for having an advantage.
Not. But when you talk about who's a better guy, don't just look at numbers. You got to look at the position itself.
But you ain't going to ever let me get it all out. Because you jump in on like a 5-minute long soliloquy in the middle of every point.
I want you to understand what you're doing because you about to give me this shit.
Are you going to let me finish or not?
The floor is yours, sir.
All right. Like I said, T.O. had way more targets than Randy. To your point of, he was the number 1 guy more. They threw more balls to T.O. He played more games. T.O. led the league in drops and was top 4 8 out of his 15 seasons in drops. How the hell are you the best receiver? Like, you can't even catch the damn ball. Randy Moss has never even been associated with a drop. You can't remember Randy dropping a damn pass.
It's easy to catch the go route.
He didn't only run go routes. That's a myth.
Run that shit across the middle.
Okay, so give me this then. What, did T.O. change the game? Like the way defenses was playing?
So I'm glad you said that, sir.
The 2 deep safety zone was a direct result of Randy Moss entering the NFL.
He run 4.2, goddamn, he's 6'4". But again, he
changed the game.
So before T.O., when was there a big physical wide receiver that was in the game that made an impact?
What, T.O. came in 96?
T.O. changed the way they drafted fucking cornerbacks. T.O. changed when they started moving motherfucker. Oh, you play linebacker? No, we need to move you back here to safety.
He wasn't even playing when he came in.
Oh, my God.
He came in the league and was on the bench.
Because he had Jerry. Man, you're right. Again.
What, was Jerry Rice on like in all 3 slot positions? Like he was on both sides and a slot? He couldn't get in the game?
Yes, I'm not telling you.
That's one man.
Again, like I said when I started this off, he wasn't that highly touted guy. He came out of UTC Chattanooga. So by the time, I can assure you, by the time he got to the NFL, the game was so much faster than what he was fucking used to. He was like a deer in headlights.
Randy played a damn Marshall.
Oh, my fucking God.
Max,
what you think, Max?
He went to Marshall because he got kicked out of Notre Dame and Florida State.
But he didn't play there. He played at Marshall.
He's a different talent.
He got kicked out.
He played at Marshall.
You talk about a 5-star kid versus a no-star kid.
Yes. It's different, man. There's certain kids out here, man, that just are naturals at that shit. And I'm not taking it away from 4-2-6-4. You can't.
A whole defensive scheme was created to stop this guy.
The motherfucker 4-2-6-4. I understand that. But what I'm simply saying to you, if I gotta look at a kid that's 7 feet, I can't goddamn say, well, you don't jump as high as Nate Robinson jump, or you dunk easier than Nate Robinson do. No, it's a difference.
What the hell is the difference? We talking about comparing two people in their careers about who's better. Like, you can't be like, oh, well, he's natural, so that's a knock on him.
No, it's not a knock, but when
you're trying to make it one.
No.
You're giving me this feel-good ass, he works hard, so he's better.
T.O. said, and I quote, I was a better wide receiver.
He's not.
So when you look at a wide receiver, it's just not about the numbers. Because as my guy over here will tell you, that he'll say, well, Matt Ryan just got all these empty stats, so it ain't about
empty stats is a quarterback term. They don't use that for other positions.
It counts. So so we talked about this earlier, and we're gonna get everybody's opinion on this. Darrelle Revis calls out Richard Sherman and says, "Go out and play cornerback for real. Stop hiding in that two, in that cover 2, that cover 3, cherry picking. Go out there and play ones on ones." Darrelle Revis says, as a cornerback, as a number 1 cornerback, as a shutdown guy, I go out and I follow their number 1 guy everywhere he fucking goes. Hence the term Revis Island. Richard Sherman don't do that. He plays within a system. So now, like Darrelle Revis said, you want to talk about this big boy game. You call yourself a you the cornerback. You the prototype big body cornerback. But you hiding. You came out a couple of weeks ago and said, I won't get beat deep. What the Devontae Adams went right at your ass. In your 2. That's the difference in when you start breaking down position by position. See there.
So somehow shitting on Richard Sherman is somehow helping your Moss argument?
No. What I'm simply saying, if you look at the stats from Richard Sherman and Darrelle Revis, Richard Sherman got more career picks than Darrelle Revis.
It's because they threw at him more.
But when you look at those stats, you'll say, okay, well, man, I got more interceptions. It's the intricacies in that particular position. You know, if you look at it and you say, guard to guard, point guard to point guard, who would you rather have, Allen Iverson or
Are you gonna bring this around before 11 o'clock?
No, what I'm gonna tell you is this. What's the guy that John Stockton?
I mean, where's the other boy with the basketball quarterbacks?
Because you seem to not get this.
Damn.
So I'm trying to find a sport that maybe you played, and then you can figure this thing out. Now, we can go to chess and check if you want to talk about the little Russian guy. I'm just saying.
I'm just waiting on you to make a point.
There's intricacies in this thing.
Sometime this week?
You just want to look at your numbers.
I just gave you way more than numbers. I told you about the quarterbacks that they played with, Terrell Owens and all his damn drops, which is a straight up fact. Randy Moss changing the entire face of defenses.
But you fail to want to mention the fact that he only ran 2 damn routes.
He ran more than 2 routes. That's just bullshit.
Okay.
All right. No. What route did you run besides the post and the post corner?
The deep post. Now this is the deep post and the go route.
That's all straight up conjecture. That man ran.
No. Go pull the film.
He ran slants and stops. He ran some of everything. And the dude was a good blocker, too.
Whenever he ran a slant, he had alligator on. Now, he run a hit. Now, he run that all day.
I mean, you didn't add that to the route tree.
Hey, man.
Don't pull up any slant, alligator on. In the dagger route,
take that heat.
Alligator on.
Gonna try and take that heat. And I get it, man. Listen. I'm not telling you, and again, people want to say if you choose Michael Jackson over Prince, you saying, one of them suck. I'm not saying that. But when you look at wide receiver, look at it from the whole position point of view. And as a all-out, pure wideout, I think T.O. was a better wideout. Randy
Moss made Wes Welker. Him running up made this dude open every play.
You know he's not gonna let up.
He's not. It's somehow
because they ain't got no real points.
It's somehow knocking the New England Patriots by saying that because he played over there for a bit. All I'm telling you is this: position by position, wide receiver to wide receiver. You put them all together. They're both phenomenal. They're both Hall of Famers. You know, T.O. has a point about being dropped off the top 100 list. He definitely has a point.
I mean, that was ridiculous, and I said that initially.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
He's the third best wide receiver to ever play.
Second and third, okay, well, I guess you're going to go Rice, Moss, then T.O.
I'll take Moss at the top.
You take Moss over Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice?
Hey, man, Mr. Stickum can kiss my ass.
This is where you lose everybody.
Hey, man,
You had a hell of an argument. Like, that's what people like that. You know what? I fuck with Fees. Fees make a good point. He got his numbers together. Then you just sit that man is better than Jerry Rice.
Oh, man. Hey, man.
All right, man.
How do you get no flack for that?
Next.
You're supposed to be the best wide receiver of all time, but
you're watching.
You got Stickum on your hands?
You're watching.
Really?
You're watching Petty Sports with your man DB.
Is there no knock for that?
The incredible Fees, ALAYGRA Wells, and our guy, wide receiver extraordinary, the man amongst town, Maceo Hurd.
Cheating only counts if you play for the Patriots. That's what it is. My bad.
Brought to you by King Broadcasting Studios out of Atlanta, Georgia, man. Home of the No Name Show, 808 on the Beats, Cigar Life and Libation, and the upcoming Petty Man, the podcast. Stick with us, fuck with us. We got you all lined up. Fees, what we got next? We're going to break down this Super Bowl matchup. What you doing? Are you going to wait for another week before you do that?
Oh, man, we don't have to make a pick to break it down.
So you want to do that this week, or we got 2 weeks before that?
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, I'm probably going to change my mind like 15 times between now and then.
Well, I don't need you to do that, my brother. I don't need you to do that.
I'm not giving you a pick. I'm just breaking it down.
Well, I think we should wait on the keys of the game to maybe next week. I mean, it's just me. We got a whole lot to talk about, breakdown, injury reports got to come out, see what happens. Somebody is bound to get locked up in these next couple of weeks. Somebody's going to get locked up in these next couple of weeks. You know, Miami's going to bring out their biggest and their finest. It's about to go down. So, it's going to be a Eugene Robinson moment. There's going to be somebody out there, that want to go out and drop a little steam in that thing called South Beach. It's going to go down.
Oh, yeah, something's going to happen.
Now, I would put money on it that it's somebody from Kansas City. Now that's my going bet. Like, it's going to be a Kansas City player. They've been playing in less than 40-degree weather for the last 6 or 7 weeks. They get their ass down in South Beach, and it's going digital. Somebody there heating titties. It's going to be Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins.
Hey,
it might be Tyreek Hill.
And he can't outrun the police down there. He can't outrun them.
They're going to be Sammy Watkins.
No, well, if you don't want to break the bowl down, then we can still talk about my man Pat, because he does have something else that's just, I give it like minor significance.
Okay.
Because I think it's actually a little fucking ridiculous. But, people have been on Pat Mahomes lately about this tweet that he sent back in 2013 and saying that he's supporting Zimmerman. Mm-hmm. Somebody sent a tweet out saying something to the effect of, like, Zimmerman didn't commit any crimes. So Pat Mahomes, as a 17-year-old, like, he was still in damn high school, he responds to the tweet and says, nobody really knows what actually happened out there, and there definitely could have been a crime. So it's like people are like, oh, he's a Zimmerman supporter, he's backing him. It's like, that statement wasn't backing Zimmerman. It was a little naive just to be like a crime could have been committed. But he made the statement right after the whole thing happens. I mean, nobody really had a whole lot of information. I mean, we knew what we felt like happened, and we know clearly what happened at this point. But to hold him accountable to be like he's a Zimmerman supporter, like that's a bit much.
I would definitely say that's a damn stretch across the board, right?
Yeah.
It's a couple things behind that. We always said, and I even tell my 17-year-old kid, man, once you hit that send button, you can't get it back.
That's it.
It's out there, right?
Yeah.
So you got to understand what that is and what you putting out there into the world. I'm pretty sure, he never would have known or, even suspected that, hey, man, one day I'm going to be on this huge stage like that. He dreamt it, but he didn't realize that as a 17-year-old, can you necessarily hold him responsible for that? I'm not gonna go that way. I'm not gonna penalize him for it. Now, if he were to make that same comment as a 24-year-old,
That's different.
You know, that's a whole different story now. Now we got to look at, you doing something real reckless right now.
Yeah.
And that's what we look at that at. I don't necessarily know that's, I wouldn't say it's real news. It's fucked up. But then there are Twitter trolls everywhere. What you think about that, Mace?
Probably
Oh,
was
you say,
hacked.
Allegra, I'm sorry.
Do you think he was hacked or something when he said that? I mean,
Not at
it's
17.
a 17-year-old.
Who hacking him?
That probably, you know what, because you're trying to be, what's the word we're looking for? You're trying to be relevant. And so you got this big political issue that's out there, and you just say to yourself, trying to be politically correct, there could have been a crime committed, not necessarily understanding the ramifications behind what you're saying. And then nobody gave it a flying fuck for a young Patrick Mahomes at 17 years old in high school. Nobody cared about that.
No.
And he didn't think nothing about it because he probably never deleted, probably still got the same Twitter account up. But now that he's who he is, somebody took the time and went through that and scrolled through think of the lonely existence you gotta have to go through and read every fucking post of somebody's kid, man.
cloud.
It's crazy. So people, we got a poll out there on the screen. If you guys are looking at your screen, who was the better wide receiver, Terrell Lawrence or Randy Moss? Take the poll, take the pick, make your choice, and we'll give you the results before the end of the show. So, Mace, what do you think about that tweet?
Man, Twitter and social media is terrible for these kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always, as a coach, I'm always trying to think about when we were 17.
Right.
And if we had cell phones,
Shit,
just think
boy.
all the dumb stuff we would have said.
Well, listen, we'd all be convicted felons.
Right. And I think, like, they just did it to Joe Burrow.
Yep.
They did it to one of the Milwaukee Brewers pitcher. Somebody takes the time to go back through these guys' social media.
Right.
And we have to tell these kids today, listen, everything that you put in the atmosphere, whether it's a picture on Instagram, some on your Snapchat, somebody going to screenshot it and they going to hold it against you. Think about the lineman for Miami Dolphins that year.
With the bong.
With the ball mask, like he switched agents, and the old agent held that footage to draft night.
Right. So
We have to be careful. Joe Burrow going through it right now. Somebody pulled up the old tweets on Joe Burrow. So this social media thing, we can't stress how careful these young guys got to be, because you never know who you're gonna become.
Right. And
so it's tough.
That's the craziest part about it. And like you said, those Twitter trolls, those Instagram trolls, they're out there, they're doing it. And when you out there, you simply, shit, man, just trying to get your kid to do the right thing. And these kids think they're smarter. And Allegra, you're a lot younger than we are. These spam accounts. And I tell my kid, I got a spam account that they think it's just them and their friends that can see it. They don't understand that your friends are the main one that damn flip on you.
That's true. Trust me, I learned that in college.
Yes.
Yes, you really have to. Just like you all said, with this generation, we're so tech savvy. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. So we're just, we just rely solely on social media. So it's like whenever, let's say if you post something and you're like, okay, I'll take it down. They'll screenshot it. It's still going to be there. You can delete it as many times as you can, but it'll still be there. So,
yeah. And somebody thought it was of relevance, like, oh, you ain't see what Allegra posting.
Right. That's why I got to make sure I be careful with what I post, because the avenue that I'm trying to get to. So. And
just like I just learned this. Now, I'm not an iPhone guy. I'm an Android, but I learned that
damn dinosaur.
iPhones allow you to screen record.
Yep.
So that's even another hack. Like. These kids that think, the Snapchat, now I'm not on Snap, but I understand that once you watch a Snap, it's supposed to disappear or something like that.
It expires in 24 hours.
So you like, oh man, I just did it and it's gone. They were screen recording the shit, and so now they got it on their SIM card or whatever, and now
that's what I was
it's not gone.
You can delete it as much as you want, but they'll still have it.
iPhones don't have SIM cards either.
Whatever. It's downloaded to their cloud is all I'm saying to you. It's whatever it is.
You don't stick an SD card in an iPhone.
Well, you don't do it in Android either, but I got one. I'm just saying, however you do it or whatever you save, it's what it is. And these kids think that, it's just gone. And that's not the case. You know, so when you look at it and you talk about, you know, Joe Burrows, you talk about Patrick Mahomes, you know, you want to know, you know, what type of sick motherfucker is out here just, I'm going to scroll through all of this guy's tweets to find the one. You
They
know,
have no life.
you have no life.
Yeah. Man,
Okay,
speaking
they'll come up.
speaking
All right,
of
we're doing
Joe,
the last 10.
since you mentioned the guy, should be the number 1 draft pick. Everybody's pretty clear on that. He's going to go to Cincinnati.
There's no doubt.
But
Do you think he goes?
yeah,
Or
I
does
think
he
he'll
pull a
strong possibility.
does he pull a Eli?
Joe is going to take whatever he gets because of how he got there.
Okay.
Joe he threw for almost half as many yards a season ago as he did this past season. Mm-hmm. He had the same weapons, the same defense. Everybody was in place at LSU other than Joe Brady. Joe Brady came in and changed his life.
Right.
Now he got a Heisman campaign, probably the best college football season we've ever seen. I mean, that's not even an exaggeration.
Right.
He's going to go ahead and ride that wave on into the number 1 pick and be happy wherever he go. I mean, he's from right up the way over there anyway. And I don't think he's going to be nearly as successful in the NFL because of the way the system just took him to other heights. It's not like he went to Ohio State, couldn't even get on the field. He transferred, and he did nothing at LSU his first year there. LSU's offense was not that good at all.
But they've always
until
said
Joe Brady got there.
They just needed a quarterback.
They
got
had
that.
the quarterback.
And then they also said, you know, utilizing a pro style offense to accentuate this kid's you know, ability.
Yeah, Joe brought the offense. LSU was gonna suck next year.
So do you think so what you're saying is Joe Burrows is a system guy?
Absolutely. He threw for half the yards and touchdowns the season before with the same weapons. It's not like they brought in 5 all-world wide receivers and running backs. All those dudes played on that team last year, and that team's offense was trash.
Okay. So what you think about that, Mace? What's your assessment of Joe Burrows?
Totally agree. He, I mean, listen, right place, right time. Joe Brady, listen, he owes Joe Brady. When he signed his contract, he needs to send Joe Brady a cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of it.
Because Joe Brady put him where he needs to be. And, I mean, and with him being a grad transfer, the guy was only taking 1 class a day.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he was basically a pro quarterback. He was preparing as a pro. He was at the facility all day, every day with the coaches. So he mastered the game plan. And, I mean, look what he did on the field.
So that's my point, though. So now when you look at the body of work he was able to put in, didn't have the worries about class and all that, you don't necessarily see that natural progression coming along as he goes to this pro level. Like you said, pro guys don't trust the college coaches. We got him all the time now. He made this jump from here to there, much like Lamar Jackson did his first year, you know, from the first year to the second year. You don't think that he can continue this growth moving through his pro career?
I don't even think that's a matter of pro guys trusting college coaches, because Brady came from the Saints. He was with the Saints 2 years
I'm
prior.
talking about, but he got his hands on Joe Burrows for full time. Basically, he was a graduate transfer. So now when he goes to the pros, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, man, this is your full time job. You don't think that progression continues and he continues to move up?
I don't think he'll be a bust, but I don't think he's going to be what people are expecting him to be.
Okay.
He's not about to come in and be that next budding star. I think he'll just be decent.
Okay.
Not at Cincinnati.
Yeah, because Cincinnati don't run that kind of system.
Well, obviously, I think. Go ahead.
And they probably not going to have them kind of weapons because A.J. Green probably out of there.
So if Cincinnati's smart, they'll take the Baltimore Ravens approach to it and say, hey, man, we're going to build our offense around this guy. Because, again, you don't want to be the new age Cleveland Browns where you run through all these goddamn first round quarterbacks and then they end up being shit. So
Yeah.
so I would hope that they would do that, right? And that would be something that, you know, they'll take a look at and say, hey man, we got a quarterback with a strong arm, athletic white guy that can, you know, extend the plays a little bit. Now granted, he's not gonna be as athletic in the pros because you got the skill level your DN gonna be, but he's still mobile enough to get around and move around, right? So now I would hope they'll make that change and say, hey man, we need to build a system around this guy and make it do what it do.
He need to stop taking them hits too.
Yeah, I think he will.
He runs into hits like a straight dumbass.
Well, I think he and Trevor Lawrence both got to understand that part of the game. Like, look, dude, this next level. Well, unless you goddamn look at what they did with Patrick Mahomes, just let him go into the end zone the other day. It's like, who knows? So shit.
But they didn't even hit Pat. They tried to strip
that's
him.
what I'm saying. So shit, I'm bigger than Pat and I'm all that. So why I gotta get out? So man, we got about 6 minutes. Gonna give it a wrap up. Want to give you guys the results of the poll real quick. Who was better wide receiver, T.O. versus Randy Moss? Landslide, no hanging chads. 67% T.O., 33% Randy Moss.
Wow.
Yeah.
The petty line need to listen more.
Oh God, that is.
People know football.
That is.
No, they don't. That's why they tuned in.
Yeah. Now you know what? They tune in to get your money picked. Since there ain't no game to it, they like, fuck, I can't even win no money this week. Hey, then we had the other one. You buying or selling Zion Williamson debut against the Spurs being a big impact? 71% say they're buying Zion coming in and making a huge splash, while 29% say they're selling.
I mean, it's the Spurs.
Yeah.
He'll ball against them.
Hey, the Hawks beat him the other day. So
That's the Hawks.
you know, Mike don't like that shit. So we gonna go on and close it out. Big Herb, go on and close out. Give us your closing statements, brother.
Hey, man, listen. Championship week has come and gone. One more week of NFL football, and then we just gonna have to combine and argue about free agency for the next few months. I'm sad already.
And what your team did or did not do in free agency.
Yeah, I'm sad already.
Yeah, it's that time, baby. You can always come down and hang out with Fees in the Atlanta United kickoff. He's a big time supporter down there.
Oh yeah, I cover him, so I can't wait.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Maceo Hurd calling in as always. Our man about town, Big Hurd. We'll holler at you next Monday. We're going to review the Aaron Hernandez, The Killer Inside, the Netflix special.
Yes, sir.
Allegra Wells.
Thanks for having me, everybody. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, ALAYGRA_Wells24.
All righty. Hey, we appreciate it. And she is a budding celebrity. Gonna be on the sports scene, news, broadcast, the whole nine. We're gonna make it do what it do. She just blessing the petty sports with her presence.
Yes.
Glad to have her here.
Yes, thank you.
As always, my guy over here, my I don't want to call you my Robin and my Batman. You know, that might offend him or something. But the dude got the stats, got the know-how, got the mind, the myth, the man, RAFAEL Sharper.
Hey, it's your boy. Y'all know what it is. It's Famous Fees. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. It's Famous Fees, RAFAEL Sharper. You can follow me on all of the platforms. Hit me up tomorrow night. I'll be on at 7 o'clock. Clutch Sports Talk Radio on Hits 92.3 ATL. Download the app. Check me out. I got a whole lot more to talk about. The Australian Open just started, so I got a little bit of tennis fire for you. We'll get on this basketball. The Lakers are getting drugged right now by Boston, so that's kind of ugly.
You petty as fuck, too.
Yeah.
Because you know what you did? You said the Australian Open started up this week, and I got a little tennis fire for you. You know them folks over there goddamn getting smoked out. That's fucked up.
Oh, that had nothing to do with it.
That's fucked up.
I wasn't on that.
Pun intended. Pun intended.
No, I actually watch tennis. I like that shit. I watch tennis all the time.
I love Coco Golf.
Just like my man Maceo was saying, yo, football season is basically done for most of us because most of us ain't Kansas City or San Francisco fans. So Facebook has been kicking my ass with the memories popping up every single day about the past 9 years of where we usually are. So, I mean, it's been a killer. It's been ugly, but you know, 5 Stripes are coming up. Y'all get ready for it. Next month, I'll be right out there. God willing, I'm going to be on that podium because I'm pushing to be out there on that stand leading chance, man. Vamos Atlanta. I'm going to bring in my man, Mac Reg. Y'all all know him. Y'all seen him, a man with the dreads. He's going to come in the studio, come bless y'all with some really good Atlanta United knowledge. So, man, y'all stay tuned for all of that. 5 Stripes going to go ahead and rep for the city one more time, just like this here. And we out.
There it is. So good people, man. Thank y'all for checking in. It's your man DB. Like I said, man, this show is evolving, ever evolving. We're going to have the Atlanta United coming in. We're going to flip the script when this basketball season kicks off strong. The second half, we that. Football's going to be over in 2 weeks, man. We're going to be back on this baseball spring training. We're going to bring it to you live and direct with this Petty Sports. It's your man DB coming straight from the King Broadcasting Studio where we kick it live from the ATL, baby. Home of Petty Sports. The No Name Show, Cigar Life and Libation, DB 808 and the Beast on Friday nights, and coming soon, the Petty Man, the podcast. From your man behind the man behind the booth over here, the little Wiz over here, the feet dang, the Gary King, the master engineer Mike Diamond. Man, we out of this piece, man. Let's listen to some of this Outkast. So throw your hands in the air and wave it like you just don't care. Petty Sports, and we out. We appreciate y'all joining in tonight, man. We had a blast as always. Thank y'all. Keep it petty at all times. And if you find something out there in the petty sports world you think we should talk about, let us know. Tune in next week. We got your Netflix special, Aaron Hernandez, The Killer Inside. If you have not watched it, watch it, man. We want to have your input on this thing, man. Let's go to work. You'll be surprised how these parents are fucking these kids up out here. Don't you be that guy. Don't be that guy.
SSU alums at the table, baby.
Savannah State in the building.
Okay. Go Tigers, okay.
Tigers everywhere.
I didn't know that. Wow, that's what's up.
There we go. We bring them all together.
Yes.
Too bad my homeboy Maurice Sanders, man. Too bad Aaron Rodgers couldn't pull it out. Derek Sanders, Michelle Sanders, all my Milwaukee crew, man. And shit just went digital on y'all, and y'all got the fuck. As my boy J-Bo say, y'all got the shit pushed in.